15% off regular price. Only at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Tired of the rough ride? Alberta used to be a leader in highway planning and construction, but years of neglect and custom maintenance are showing. You can see it, and your vehicle is feeling it. Infrastructure can last for years with a little TLC, but when repairs are deferred, minor issues become major reconstruction. We need action and a reliable capital plan. Contact your MLA and demand stable infrastructure funding. Find out how at fixourroads.com.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
School's almost out, and road trip season is just around the corner. But if your brakes sound like they're grinding harder than a hockey fourth liner, it might be time to visit Napa Auto Parts. Napa has all the quality parts, tools, and know-how to help keep your vehicle running smoothly and road ready. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Your co-op grow team are your local experts because we live here too. Our agronomic specialists stay up to date with the latest research and technology to help support your entire farm operation. As your crops fill and mature, we're here to help you assess crop health, manage pre-harvest applications, and make informed decisions for a successful harvest. Co-op, we're all growing together. Here for your family. Talk to your co-op grow team today.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Send are going to the quarterfinal of the World Cup. And they've got a date with Lionel Messi at Argentina.
On Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Guy that you're just trying to find square up. Highline drive, center field, carries over the wall. 300 for Shohei Ohtani.
Well, a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. It's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where it is your one-stop shop. Lottery, instance, live dealer, casino, and more, including sports and the Jason Gregor Show specials, which, of course, have a little Elks action, some MLB to get to. And if the Jays game, obviously it's already started, so you can't get in on it. But if you're picking the Jays to win, it's a good start. Jays put up a 5 spot, and the first inning isn't even over. Okamoto. Now, we were discussing in studio. You move Okamoto down in the order. He's your best hitter, your best home run hitter. He's got 20 home runs. They move him down to the 6th spot. It works because he hits a grand slam in the first inning. But I'm sorry, at some point, Vlad Guerrero cannot be hitting number 3. Like he is basically right now, like he's the only guy who didn't get it. Of the first 6 batters, he was the only one. And guess what? I'll give you a hint on what he did in his at-bat. A soft ground out. Because unfortunately, that's what he does right now. At some point, you got to move him down the lineup because it's hurting the team. You can't have that guy hitting that often into little soft infield outs because that's all he's been doing. But the Jays offense, after erupting last night, they continue where they left off with a 5-run first inning. So, if you're a Jays fan, that's some good news. We got a loaded show for you today. Mike Rupp will join us, his last visit of the summer. Bill Lindsay will be by. We got Nick Olczyk. We'll get to some stats of the day for you at 4 o'clock. Struddy will be by. Spec, also a guy who was announced today. He's going into the CFL Hall of Fame. And no real surprise here, but Charleston Hughes has been announced that he's going in. Well deserved. Also, Brandon Banks and Sean Millington going in. There are a few additional inductees yet to be unveiled. They kind of spread it out over time, but Charleston Hughes, he's going to join us on the show today. Was the most one of the most ferocious defensive linemen we've seen in a long, long time, and well deserving of his opportunity to get in. So that's great. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 is where you can text us. We got lots to talk about. Was down at the Elks today as they get set for tomorrow night, taking on the Ottawa Red Blacks. And no, guess what? We got a 4-pack of tickets to give you for the game tomorrow. We'll do that coming up a little bit later on. Actually, you know what? No, not later on. We'll do it right now. Why delay it? I know you're waiting. You want to go to the game tomorrow night? A 4-pack of seats. You can take the family. You can take a group of friends. Maybe a double date. Whatever floats your boat. 833-401-1440. But here, we'll do a little trivia. Not just put in your name. Make it a little bit easier. Or harder, I should say. Not just the name. We do the name lots. But today we'll do a little bit different for the stats. Okay? Right now, in the CFL, tell me where, and you can pick the number, 1 to 9. There's 9 teams, 9 starting quarterbacks. Where does Cody Fajardo rank in passing yards? 1 through 9. Which is his number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Which one? 833-401-1440. Where does Cody Fajardo rank in passing yards amongst CFL quarterbacks right now? And so we'll do it. Anybody who gets the correct answer, we'll give you 3 minutes. You'll go and put your name in. Make sure when you text in, you give the answer and then include your name. All right. 833-401-1440. The Elks, 2 roster changes, nothing major. Due to, and these are basically just for injury purposes for the Elks. They want a little bit more depth in the linebacking core because their linebacking core has been decimated by injuries. So they're going to bring in Jaden Pearson as well as Tyson Brady will draw in, and Justin Pace, who's out. Now, he's only going to be out this week. He should be ready to return next week, so it's not a serious injury. And they also take out Ladarius Tennyson just because they need some bigger bodies on special teams. So those are the only 2 roster changes for the green and gold. Basically, nothing major in that game. And considering how many key injuries they've had, anytime you can get out of it unscathed, that's good. Joe Robustelli will not play tomorrow, but maybe will make his green and gold debut next Friday night at home against the BC Lions. So Robustelli's out, Nick Anderson, Brandon Barlow, Brett Boyko, Luca Burton-Cron is out. Also, Iteva, Muaga Clements, Brock Mogensen, Darian Nua. Like, got a lot of guys, man. Coulter Woodmansey. So Benjamin Sangmua also out. Now, Royce Mechie started the season injured, and he's back practicing at least, but still many weeks away from playing. Deck, what are you expecting from the Elks in as they look for a bounce back game tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I think one thing with that BC loss is BC, despite being 0-3, they were a team that certainly had ways to beat you. They're very creative. Nathan Rourke is obviously an elite level quarterback. They have a game record on defense, and I love James Butler. Ottawa doesn't really have that. Not only have you beaten Ottawa once, and I know the final score, it was a 1-possession game, but Ottawa does things very simply, and quite bluntly, their roster just isn't as good as the Elks. Like, they're just not. One team's going to be that way every year. This year, it's evidence to be Ottawa. We see that in their record this year. So I think with Ottawa, it's, first of all, you can't lose to a winless team twice, 2 weeks in a row. But second, there is so much more of a formula out there to beat Ottawa. And Ryan Dinwiddie, very, very good coach, well-credentialed guy, champion, all that. But they are the poster, and I mean this with no disrespect to Ottawa, they are the poster children this year for teams that when you're coming off a tough loss like that at home, it is a bounce back game. And that's what I expect from the Elks.
I look at them, man, it was interesting. They're angry and good. That means their expectations are higher than they've been in previous years. Mark Killam even walking up to the press conference. I won't name the coach, but there used to be a coach whose press conferences were how should we say, rather short and curt and grumpy at times. Not now. He wasn't a former coach for the Elks, but in the CFL. And as Killam's walking up, he goes, "I'm going to do my blank impression today." He was just goes, "I don't even know why. I'm just, he's grumpy." And then he was actually pretty fine. But so we'll play Coach Killam today. But there's a different level of expectations inside the organization that I haven't seen in a long, long time. And it's a welcome change. Let's call a spade a spade. It's long overdue. There's some years when you're just trying to hold on. And then there's other years where you say, you know what, we got to be a better organization. And so they weren't good enough. They got out physicaled on both lines of scrimmage. You look at it, fumbles have been a problem for this team. And this, to me, those are practice habits, Deck. And I did talk to Justin Rankin. I asked him about the fumbles today. He didn't shy away from it. Now, it's not something that's been part of his pattern, but it is this. And considering, remember, if Bordner doesn't touch it, that's another fumble. That would have been 4. Right in that game. So I look at this from Rankin. He's got to protect the ball more. And we did ask him, and maybe we'll play Rankin right away here to just to let it know. But to me, that starts in practice. And I was told somebody feels like there needs to be a little bit more accountability in practice, and that's got to come from the offensive coaches. Say, okay, enough's enough. We're fumbling the ball way too much.
Yeah. You asked me and Eddie about it, and we both kind of brushed it off and said, not yet. He's so dynamic, does all these things offensively, take the bad with the good. But it's a real problem. Like, he's on pace for 13.5 fumbles this year. And it would have been a nice even 18 had it not been for Bordner's play there. That's just an unbelievably unsustainable route. Because the other thing is, like, when we talk about a quarterback, Chad Kelly this year in the CFL, or Jameis Winston, who throws 30 tugs, 30 picks, it's so much different for a run. Like, it's so much harder to fumble the ball. So to do it at that rate, you were right, and we got to eat this one. It's absolutely something that needs to be corrected. And I think the biggest thing is he just does a little too much side to side when he can be tucking the ball going north-south. I think that's the number one thing he needs to key on.
Yes, 100%. You got to be aware of your surroundings. Guys are coming at him. It's not like he's not used to having the ball in his hands. So, but it's one where you gotta focus. And so I look for the Elks, and then even on defense, they're doing a great job of creating fumbles and turnovers, but they don't have any interceptions, and they've dropped a few. And that was another point of conversation today, talking with Aaron Grimes, and he had a great line. He goes, "I'm tired of leading the league in knockdowns. We got to hold on to the ball in some, because there's been a few that have been right in their hands." So we'll see where that goes. Many of you got the correct answer. Cody Fajardo currently ranks 5th in passing yards amongst CFL quarterbacks with 1,159. Nathan Rourke, Trevor Harris, Davis Alexander, Chad Kelly. They're all in the 1,400s. So about 250 yards more. Now, Fajardo and the Elks offense, he's not going to be in the top. He's averaging just under 300 passing yards a game, but that really came down to last game when he had 395. Right, that was first time over 300. So a little misleading. They're a run team more than they are a big play offense. And if you look at a lot of their big plays, those have come more from yak yards than down the field. Now, they did go down the field a little bit more with Austin Mack, and I'd like to see that continue. I do wonder when Robustelli comes in if that will help him. But Fajardo's not a guy who's airing it out 40, 50 yards downfield very often, right? It's not going to happen. Like, if you look at his attempts, he's got 149, 150 for Rourke, 154 for Alexander, 141 for Kelly, 146 for Harris. So they're all pretty even there in attempts. Completions, he's got 101. Rourke and Alexander have 107. Trevor Harris has 105. Chad Kelly has 98. So they're all pretty close there too. The difference is you just look at the average. He's at 7.8, where those guys are all 9.4 to 10.5. They're just bigger play offense. That's how it is. That's, not everybody's going to build their game the exact same way, because there's different skill sets involved. So now, do we have the Rankin ready? Here's from Justin Rankin conversation I had with him down at practice today.
Losing's never fun, but is there something about maybe a little bit of a good dose of reality sometimes to say, hey, we can't just show up and expect to win. We got to do what we're supposed to do to win.
I mean, it's pro football, and there's 18 games in the CFL. That's a long season, obviously it'd be amazing to win all the games, but the reality is it's very hard to win 18 games in a row. So obviously there's some disappointment, right? Especially to a game where, we truly believe that we should have won. Wasn't really anything that, they were doing necessarily. We just were shooting ourselves in the foot. A lot of turnovers, a lot of things that we needed to correct. We didn't play up to our standard. So I think that's where a lot of the irritation comes from, not necessarily from losing, just that we didn't play to, our standard.
I saw your reaction on the field after the fumble. You don't really have a history of fumbling.
Yeah.
I know it's been a little bit of a run here for you. What do you look at in film? How do you eliminate that from your game? Something that's never really been part of your game.
Yeah, it's just something I got to be more conscious about during practice, right? Something that we got to work on, something that I got to be just have on my mind a little more, right? I think I'm just getting a little lazy in that aspect, and that's something that I got to look myself in the mirror with and correct.
Being one of the leaders of the team, what's your message to the group after that one? Now with a little stretch here, you got 2 consecutive home games, an opportunity to really build on a good start and not to allow that good start to kind of evaporate.
I mean, the great thing is we got a short week, right? Like it's not a bye week, not a long week where you got to sit on a loss and you kind of just dwell on it, right? Whether you want to or not. But we are in the industry of, a short memory, right? And that's the biggest thing to, let everybody know and tell the guys is like short memory, right? On to the next one. Again, this is pro football. They get paid too, right? They get paid to win games just like we get paid to win games. So that's the biggest thing is just, like flushing that out like a goldfish. They say the goldfish got 3-second memory, forget about it, on to the next and, show up and be the team that we know that we are. And grateful that we have a short week, and not only that, but it's a home game, so we have a time, real short week to be able to like just flush that out of our memories and put a W into our brain, right?
I don't know how much you watch when your defense is on the field, if you're an offensive on the sidelines or not, but as a guy who goes up against linebackers a lot, can you comment on the game that DeBlanco had and just the start to the season for him, and even though he's not on your side of the ball, how his play maybe fires you up?
Yeah, man, I've been here with Joe, since my first year. So to be able to see like his progression and his growth just throughout his career is like amazing, and the work he puts in, the dedication that he has to this game and commitment that he has to the team. I mean, it's no coincidence, it's no surprise to me that like he's playing the way that he's playing, that he's having the season that he's having. So, everybody's kind of like a little shocked by it. Like, it's something that I've been seeing coming from a long time. So, I'm proud of him, man. It's amazing to see.
To Joel DeBlanco, we talk football, but then I always kind of like to go down different areas, and there was lots of players today, and this is what the Green and Gold have done on the walkthrough days for home games. They welcome family, and there's a lot of young kids, right? Austin Mack has two little girls. His wife is she's going to be due here very soon, and there was lots of other kids around. Joel DeBlanco has a young 4-year-old son. And I was actually holding him during the interview, which was pretty cute. But his wife was there. And, it was just interesting because I've talked to lots of different players over years. And when you go home at night, lots of guys are watching film. And some wives are like, man, whatever. But others are like, well, I'm going to watch film with you and really learn. And so an interesting conversation with Joel about his wife and where, how intently she watches film. It's unique from couple to couple. There's no doubt about that. 833-401-1440. Congratulations, Ken. You were the winner. We had multiple people knowing that Cody Fajardo was 5th, and we did the old spinorama, and Ken has won. So, Ken, check your checks. We'll get your we like to double check if it's the right email, and away we go. And you will be going. You got a 4-pack of tickets to tomorrow night, the Elks against the Ottawa Redhawks. Right now, they're calling for maybe some showers early in the morning, but by evening should be fine. Elks need some decent weather, and I think you get a win next Friday. Easily is going to be their biggest crowd of the year. You get a good night on a Friday night, and then if you look at their games later into July and into August, you got those Saturdays, 2:00, 5:00 starts. Those the last few years have been pretty good draws, and that's when the team wasn't good. Now the team's good. I would expect, I'll say it, in the month of August or September, you're going to see a sellout in the lower bowl for sure this year at Commonwealth. Take a quick break. Mike Rupp joins us next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Support your bones so you can stay active this summer. For the month of July, all CanPrev brand magnesium and collagen supplements are 15% off regular price. Only at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Boxing Week is back at the Brick. Don't wait until winter. Get blowout pricing now. Save 55% off sofas when you buy the matching piece. Save up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get free local delivery when you use your Flexity card. And buy more, save more. Up to $500 off select major appliances. Don't miss the return of Boxing Week, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in store for details.
Do you have neck or back pain? Ever go for treatment hoping for a simple fix only to realize your stubborn spine is basically a science project with attitude? Hey, we get it. And honestly, we're a little sorry because great rehab does take proper experimenting. But at Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we don't just toss exercises into the beaker and hope it doesn't explode. We start with the right diagnosis, then mix hands-on care, precise manual therapy, and evidence-based technology. The formula your body actually needs. Science and skill with gratitude, not attitude. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Car shopping sucks. That's right. Going back and forth 100 times just to get a price. Give me your credit card for a test drive. What's all these extra fees? That sounds ridiculous. At Northgate, we do things a little differently. Good deals on new, pre-owned vehicles, good people, and a great selection. Stop in and see us today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country. You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
You may get up early, but more than likely, the team at GS Construction have already gotten up before you, grabbed a coffee, headed to the site, and started their day. So while Edmonton wakes up, GS crews are already underground, quietly keeping things moving, upgrading, and laying the new underground infrastructure for our growing city. If you're the kind of person who goes to sleep with their steel-toed boots on, GS Construction wants to hear from you. We're looking for a maintenance foreman as well as a building and yard attendant. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Grove Rotary Rib Fest returns July 10th to 12th. It's mouth-watering ribs, plus live entertainment, food trucks, skate park performances, and the Canada Hot Tub and Swim Spa Expo. Grove Rotary Rib Fest, brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires in Spruce Grove. GroveRotaryRibFest.ca.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Whatever the job, consider it done with the Lawnmower Hospital in Ego, the top-rated brand in cordless outdoor equipment. Their universal battery platform takes you from mower to trimmer into the mini bike with just one battery. They keep the party going with the Ego misting fan on those hot summer days, and then keep the party going with the Ego Bluetooth speaker at night. Check lawnmowerhosp.com now for stock and pricing.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Say my name. No one is around you.
The easy stuff was just kind of like best of the rest.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Ewell. Helping you finish their electrical project is their goal. From pod lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ewell.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. Ewell.ca, your partners in power.
Look good, feel good, play good. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for listening to Sports 1440.
Presented by playalberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
2:23, welcome back. Wednesday afternoon. Hope you're having a lovely day. It's the Gregor Show is always brought to you by playalberta.ca and the OG of lotteries. On 649 tonight, $26 million gold ball jackpot and the classic $5 million jackpot. Get your tickets at playalberta.ca. No one won last night. Lotto Max. Friday's draw is now up to 25 million. So there you go. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. We got lots more to get to in the sports world. On the orders, I think it's quieted down. Now we are waiting. The announcement should be coming down soon on no, I didn't miss it. I haven't seen the Barrett Hayton announcement from Utah. Are they going to match? Oh no, it was matched. There we go. They've matched. No surprise. There we go. I just looked it up. They matched Barrett Hayton. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. It was a decent wager by New Jersey, but probably not aggressive enough if you want to get him. Right now, that's always the goal, but it did make him think. And now Ottawa, with him on their roster, not Ottawa, Utah, excuse me, with him on their roster, now they still have $4.5 million in cap space. They've got 14 forwards, 7 defense, and 2 goalies. So they got a lot of cap space. Like they do have Oliver Ekman-Larsson on about because what do they have him on the buyout charge still from back? Because remember they did inherit the Arizona franchise, so he's got like only $650K, and then he's got 4 more years after this of $290K, which is, it's like a bonus overage is really what it is. So Utah, I saw a lot of people saying, oh, they're in a real tight spot, but they're really not in that tight of a spot. So now their forward group, Logan Cooley, Nick Schmaltz, Clayton Keller, Dylan Guenther, Vincent Trocheck, Anders Lee is probably their top 6. It's not a bad top 6. I really like Logan Cooley a lot. Guenther, Keller, they got some skill for sure. Then, so you got Schmaltz and Keller, Guenther, and Anders Lee as their wingers, Trocheck and Cooley as the centers. Then you go to their third line, and it's likely Barrett Hayton, Lawson Krause, Jack McBain. Their fourth line, Kevin Stenlin's the fourth line center. You got Brandon Tanev, Michael Cartzone, Kyler Yamamoto. Like they got, and Kyler Yamamoto had a really good year last year in limited minutes. But when you bring in Anders Lee and you bring in Vincent Trocheck, it's he's getting pushed down the lineup. That's just a reality of the situation for him. Now let's go around to the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. It's cone season at McDonald's. Vanilla cones are only $1 plus tax all summer long, exclusively in the McDonald's app. Download it today, and you can get dollar cones all summer at McDonald's. As Mike Rupp joins us for his final appearance of the summer from NHL Network, Stanley Cup winner, Game 7 hero. Rupper, how you doing?
What's up? How you doing?
Good. Well, you got through the 4th of July. No fireworks injuries.
No, very responsible. I think I'm getting older and more mature, so everything was was very under control, but we had a great fourth here, and just kind of buckling for the summertime. I got past most of the stuff from free agency, so in this hockey world how it goes. Gets a little bit quiet here for a little while.
Yeah. No surprise. I thought Utah was going to match because even by matching Barrett Hayton, and I know it can potentially walk him to free agency, which is what the strategy was here for New Jersey. He gets a 1-year deal at $4.775 million. Like if I'm Barrett Hayton, I'm pretty happy. I get to stay in the team that I'm at, and I don't think there's any ill will. It's business. You look at this Utah team, and they did make the playoffs last year, Rupper. Do you see them capable of taking a next step in that division with Colorado and Minnesota or Dallas, or is there something you feel they still lack?
Yeah, I know that whole situation. I think that I kind of went both ways on it, if they're going to match it or not. But the way that this works, I mean, Barrett Hayton's obviously pretty fired up. He had a substantial raise. He was able to get this contract done for the year. But, I kind of was jumped into it and did a little research where I'm like, well, what stops them from just, all right, you got a 1-year deal now, because that's what the offer sheet was. And can't you just then in turn sign an extension? He obviously can do that, I think, January 1st. So who knows if at that time when he's eligible for an extension makes this even longer. But I think that they're a team now that has taken a big step. They have offensive firepower. I think they're a pretty good transition team in the way they can kind of pop offensively. But now they've got some more depth pieces that you're just talking about. Some of the ads that they've made with Lee and Trocheck, and then even this offer sheet matching for Hayton. Like, they're not giving away that depth. And I just think that tells you a lot about a team when they're going to have genuine competition for ice time and opportunities. And I think that's a really healthy thing. So is the gap narrowing between them and the Dallas Stars or Minnesota Wild, Colorado Avalanche? Yeah, I think it is. Now, I don't think it's all that close to some of those other teams per se, but it's gotten closer, and almost in some regard, the way that Minnesota got closer to those teams, and obviously had a big, a big win in the playoffs as well. So they're getting better. I think that's all you can ask for, and they're a pretty deep roster as we stand today.
We are a few days away from the Ducks and the Flyers, and there's all sorts of, they're not going to match. They are going to match. Oh, now Carlson's not happy in Anaheim. You're going to hear lots of different things. So there's match, don't match, or trade, part of it. What do you think happens here on Friday?
I personally don't think they have any choice but to match. Like, I don't know, unless there was like some cockamamie idea of like, hey, let's take the 4 picks. I know a lot of people have said, well, who's stopping them from turning around and offer sheeting, Connor Bedard or just doing something crazy in that nature. I just think that they're a team that's up and coming, and he's a budding star in Leo Carlsson. I think you have to match it. Now, what does that mean for the team moving forward? It kind of screws up a lot of what Pat Verbeek's been trying to get going. Is they've been a hard negotiating team. They've tried to set the standard where we've seen teams in the past. I think the Boston Bruins are a good example of that. Kind of prior, the Pasternak big deal and the McAvoy big deal. You remember when Bergeron, I feel like it was like Bergeron, Krejci, Marchand, they're all like at $6 million, where their market value is probably like, quite a bit higher than that. And they did a good job of kind of keeping it, well, we've got these guys at this, so you're never going to be able to push up. And that helped Boston. I think Anaheim was trying to get that going in the same vein. This kind of blows that up. So I don't know. Like, now all of a sudden you're sitting here. I mean, you had a guy in your roster in Cutter Gauthier that had 40-some goals last year. He's your best goal scorer. Like, I'm not saying he's going to sit there and be like, well, he's getting 18. I mean, the circumstances are a little different, but there's going to be a big ask. You don't have that leverage now of being a hard-nosed negotiating team where, hey, this is the bar and everyone's going to fall in accordingly. That's been messed up now.
Yes. Well, no question about it. Like, even the Minchikov deal, like that one to me is
100%.
It's kind of blown it out of the water. I'm like, I had 22 points. It's getting $7.2 million. Like, come on. I don't really.
Now, the one thing I'll say about Minchikov, I think he's a good defenseman. I think he's a little bit overrated. I think I need to see a little bit more. Even the way that he's played on the team where this year they had a pretty good year in Anaheim. He kind of fell in that depth chart as the season went on. You know what I mean? So like that was another guy where they're almost forced, because he was the other one that was offer sheet eligible. So it almost like forces them to pay him more now. So you kind of got this thing snowballing in the wrong direction here for the Anaheim Ducks.
Yes, I would agree. Mike Rupp joins us here on Sports 1440. So let's say you're the Flyers and you don't get him. I don't see them offer sheeting Connor Bedard here. So now you look and you're going to sign Zegras and you're going to sign Drysdale, most likely. What do you think? They just look to make a trade? Kind of what's next for them, or is this their big swing and they'll just kind of have to play it out and wait till next summer maybe to try again?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the Flyers have been pretty clear now that they are going to be, whatever you want to call it, big game hunting. They're going to be fishing for the big one. It's going to continue. So, next summer they could be up and at it again, but I think they're going to be looking. The one thing with the Flyers, they took a step as well. And when you're talking about, some of these players that they have on roster, at this stage, we don't know if they have a star yet. They have a lot of really good players, some good young players. Some things are falling into place, but they don't have a star. And I think until they kind of get that, they're going to continue to look for that. Can they get it via offer sheet? Can they get it via an aggressive trade? That's going to be something I think the Flyers have the appetite for. So I think this was a swing. If it doesn't work, then they'll go back to the drawing board, but they're going to keep swinging.
Okay. Yeah, well, and they probably should. I think they're going to be aggressive, no question about it. They'll probably want to take care of their own guys at reasonable numbers. Like I look at Zegras, he had a good year, and I don't know if the offer sheet can't be used as a comparable in arbitration or even in any sort of negotiation. But I just wonder if the agents of the Flyers say, "Hey, wait a sec, you guys are willing to pay this guy $18 million? My guy might get another, maybe all of a sudden he's worth $1 million more than we thought last week."
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I mean, just these. I think we used this example. Before. I'm thinking back earlier in the season where remember when we were talking about watching the court shows and we're just like, you're supposed to, disregard things that are said in court.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing. Like, yeah, in arbitration, it's probably not taken into account that, hey, they offer sheeted this guy is willing to pay him that. And, my clients, got this amount of points and we feel his value's here. Like they're not going to, but it's out there. It's known. The player knows it. The players on that roster know it. You're willing to spend. It wasn't like, we're running this tight ship and that's the way this organization is. They showed that they're willing to splurge. So I think that every agent that would represent any player is going to be like, yeah, I mean, we're going to ask for more. That bought us some more rope as far as what our asking price is. So I think that would be the ask. Now, if they get it, we'll see. That's up to the Flyers.
Yeah. Hey, Rupper, did you ever go to arbitration?
No, never did. Never did. I talked to Bobby Holik. I never was really in the situation for it, but I remember Bobby Holik told me the one time because he went to arbitration with the Devils. And I know times have changed, and I don't know how the process, if it's changed a ton over the years or not, but Bobby Holik said it was the worst experience he ever had. And I, what do you mean? He said, because you're sitting there and you know from your year-end meetings, your conversations with the team, the coaching staff, the GM, how important you are. We want to get you signed. Then you get in this hearing and they're just telling you how bad you suck. Basically, how bad you stink and how you're not worth whatever that asking number is. And he said it was kind of hard moving on from that. You do because you're a professional. This is the business, but it's hard again. It's hard to unhear what you've heard, even though it was part of the business. So, I've known a number of players that said they went through it. They didn't enjoy it. Maybe some have, but what I always heard was it wasn't a very fun experience.
Did you ever ask them? Because here's the part I don't get. Your agent negotiates for you. Like when you're in a contract, it's, the agent calls you up. Okay. I offered this, counted this, whatever. So you're only hearing from your agent. Why does the player have to sit in an arbitration? Like, why would you sit in to hear this stuff? I don't understand. Like, it's not like the player is saying anything. He's not representing himself. His agent is. Right? That's the one part I've never really understood.
But I would want to be a part of that. As a player, I would want to be a part of every conversation my agent has with
But
the general manager.
But are
you know what I'm saying?
But when you have like when your agent would talk to the GM, he was relaying what the GM said, right? But you never actually spoke to
Correct.
the GM.
But I also think that there's I'm not sure everything will be said if a player is present. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Yeah, like you're not going to sit there because you have relationships, player and the GM.
Yeah.
All season long, and from some situations in these RFA situations, you drafted that player. You've known this, in some spots the same regime, and there's a relationship there. And I don't want something to be said that's not going to be said to my face. So I would want to be a part of the hearing. But I understand what you're saying. It's kind of dumb for a player to be in there because you're not speaking. You're just kind of absorbing everything going on. But at the same time, I wonder if some of the situations can get even nastier if the player was not involved.
Potentially. But again, it's like, you know what? Sometimes it doesn't really matter. Like at the end of the day, that's business and you got to separate business from personal. They're trying to say what you're not good at because they don't want to pay you as much, right? Whereas your agent's saying everything you're great at because he wants to get you as much money as possible. So I've always just wondered as a player.
Hey, I like to. How about you take management to arbitration and talk about all the bad signings they've had over the years, right? And saying, all right, like if we're going to say what I lack on, I'm not good at managing the puck. You're not good at managing the salary cap. How about that? That'd be something I'm for.
Yeah, no, that's true. I've just always kind of been curious about it, and it's going to vary from player to player. But I wonder if there's ever been an arbitration case where a player said, you know what? You guys are negotiating money, which is great, but I'm not going to go in the room. You just tell me, I'll talk to my agent afterwards. And I'd ask the agent, okay, do I want to hear it or should I just not care? Because if I don't know, then I don't know. And it doesn't really matter. I'm like, hey, at the end of the day, I'm going to get with the arbitrator and, we get the salary. And I just wonder if maybe it would be easier to maintain a relationship if you don't truly know. Because we know for a fact that GMs and scouts and everybody in their meetings, when they talk about players, aren't just sitting there and saying how great they are in every element, right? You just don't hear what they're saying sometimes.
No, and especially nowadays with the analytics, like they're going to try to find any analytics that works against you. You're going to find any analytics that work for you.
Yep.
It starts, but I understand what you're saying. No, it would be a good situation. I think that's where you trust your agent. Maybe it would be a great spot to be where the agent just like, hey, you know what? Business is done. Nothing absurd. Nothing that you need to hear. Here's the number. Let's move forward.
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm just curious if that's something that, because we know that most of these guys who file for arbitration aren't actually going to go through arbitration, right? Most of them reach an agreement. Now, the Jason Robertson one, before I let you go, Rupper, this has been the longest negotiation that I can think of. I can't think of another player because if you didn't get it, like he's an RFA, he's had the chance to extend for a year. It hasn't happened. Now he's into arbitration, and hey, good on Robertson. He bet on himself. And he scored. He produced big numbers. His arbitration number will be massive if it actually goes to arbitration. He's got a really good case to do it. What do you think ultimately happens here with him and the Stars? Because this has drug out now for over 12 months.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because I agree with you. I think the arbitration number is going to be good. It's going to be big. Now, where are the negotiations at? What was the last part of negotiations? Where is that in relation to what the projection of arbitration is? I'll always, if I'm betting, I'm always going to say, like you just mentioned, that a deal will be had before arbitration because we see that most likely in most situations. So I like to think that. I don't think the Dallas Stars really want to go to arbitration on this one, just because he has put up big numbers, and it wasn't 1 year. He's had over 100 points a couple times now. Yep. So this isn't like a one-off season that he had, and you're trying to capitalize. And I don't know how that would bode for the Dallas Stars if it actually went to arbitration. So I'd have to guess and just say something will happen maybe in the 11th hour prior.
Okay. Well, Rupper, have yourself an awesome summer. We'll be touching base with you. Hey, if some big story goes, we'll have to get you on. But if not, enjoy your summer, and we will pick up things. Next hockey season starts a little bit earlier this year. First regular season game is scheduled to go, I think it's either the 29th or the 30th of September. So
awesome.
We'll have
enjoy. You guys all enjoy your summer. Appreciate it. Yeah. And everybody take care.
Enjoy your sun tanning, Rupper. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
There you go. That's Mike Rupp from the NHL Network. I'm just, it's an interesting one. I think each player would have their own individual. Do I need to be there? Like, what's the benefit of me being there? Because if just from a pure business standpoint, I know you know how they feel about you. Okay, but do I care? If they're going to pay me the money and they're going to pay me, maybe you're at arbitration for $5 million or so, if they're paying me, like, does it matter? Because I know that in the arbitration, you're trying to make a case to pay me less. It doesn't mean that they don't think I'm a good player. They're just trying to point out the areas of my game that aren't good. It's business. It's not personal. So honestly, for me, I probably tell my clients, you know what? I don't see the benefit of you being here. We've got our case. You know what we're saying. They're going to counter. They'll probably have, and in arbitration, you know, you can say what the player doesn't like, but then you still have to provide 3 examples usually of comparable contracts, right? UFAs aren't comparable. So you find that, and I've seen actual arbitration, like not all the words that they said, but what the team presented and what the team or the players' side represented for comparisons for players. And they go through it. Okay, this guy has this many points. If he's a defenseman, it's time on ice, right? Time on ice is a big one for D-men in arbitration. Points are something for sure, but time on ice is a big factor, right? And so they'll try to find, as Rupper said, not just analytics, but they will look at, oh, look at this guy over there. He's making $4 million. Guess what? He penalty kills for 2.5 minutes a game. My guy penalty kills for 2.5 minutes a game, and his numbers are better. And that's kind of how deep it goes. So I'm always, I'm interested in it. Like, out of these 15, I think Robertson probably has the best chance to go to arbitration because they've yet to find common ground before. So we'll see. Take a quick break. We'll return and we'll talk about more changes. And is there enough room for the new faces in one certain organization? Sometimes it's too much. We'll find out next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade: safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call-solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business, and for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Kickoff is coming July 9th. Elks, Red Blacks at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Salute to Service presented by YEG Plus. Help us celebrate the heroes and first responders who make our communities great. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with track hoe or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with track hoe or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and this is the time of the year most RV stores wish their lot was full. At the new RV stores, product is trickling in, mostly just for taking orders. But having an RV on order doesn't mean much when the weather's great for camping today.
No Bull has hundreds of quality used RVs on the lot now. Right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. Walk into No Bull RV today and you could be in the great outdoors next weekend. No waiting, no hoping it'll be here by summer, just the perfect used trailer, motorhome, fifth wheel, or toy hauler that you need.
And every RV at No Bull is one of a kind.
Every family is one of a kind too, Bob. Think we can't find the perfect one for you? Take a look around. At No Bull, you'll save thousands compared to the cost of a new RV. You can build your summer plan on hope, or you can know for sure. And ask about our Camp Ready service plan when you're here to make this the best summer yet.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.249 rolling through Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Jay's leading 5 Cobb through 4 innings. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Jays. He's killing it 6 Ks already through 4 innings. So, and yet to give up a hit. I don't even think they barely got good contact. The one, I guess, fly ball to center field wasn't bad, but that's about it. Let's go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical, the most diversified electrical contractor in Alberta with 4 divisions: project, service, testing, and solar for both commercial and residential. ActionElectrical.net, as we are joined by a longtime analyst for the Florida Panthers. Bill Lindsay joins us. Bill, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
Yeah, Jason, everything's good. How is it up there in Edmonton? Having a good time? It's hot here, actually. It's very, very hot. So, it's probably nice up there, but we're getting out towards Montana here in a little bit. So looking forward to coming west.
Well, that'll be nice. No, it's been a very rainy June, record-breaking, most rain ever in June. But we've had 3 days of sun, so we'll take it. So hopefully the rain stays away here for a little bit. Been a busy offseason for the Panthers. Of course, they make the big Brady Tkachuk trade. They've also, re-signed Etu Luostarinen into a long-term deal that bring in Garnet Hathaway, as well as Lars Ehler, just some depth guys. But they changed both their goaltenders as Jacob Markstrom now and Akira Schmid in goal for Florida. How do you rank Markstrom for Bobrovsky? Because goalie Bob in the playoffs his numbers were much different in the regular season. So how big of a blow do you think that is, losing Bobrovsky?
It's partially, but you have to understand that 38 years old for Bobrovsky is they were with him every day, were the Panther staff and the goaltending department, and they got to see it firsthand. So was it a decline, or did he still have the ability and just have an off season because of the way that the Panthers were structured with the injuries, and he got pelted with shots and it was just an off year? What do you kind of label that to? And the money, what's he coming from? What's his agent want? And can it fit into that space? So they decided to move on from that. It does leave question marks about what's going to happen with Markstrom, but Panthers and the goaltending coach, Rob Tallis, he's been here. He worked with Markstrom when he was drafted for us. So our goaltending coach does understand Markstrom. I'm sure that was part of the solution coming here. And Akira Schmid into the backup role, they feel that should be fine. But if you look, Jason, at the four or five goalies that were you got Dobish and you got Hart and you got Anderson, Bussey, Wedgwood. Those five. Like you wouldn't say, okay, well, those are my Stanley Cup winning goaltenders. Especially they went Anderson and Bussey with Carolina. If you have a good team and a structured team,
yep.
Markstrom's good enough to do it. So yeah, Bob and the great numbers. It's the fit and everything that was kind of coming into it. He'll be missed. We're very glad that we had him. It was a remarkable run. I just firmly believe that Bill Zito and this team feel that they can get it done with Markstrom and Schmidt in that.
And hey, I applaud him because I think sometimes when I look at teams who won, they kind of fell in love sometimes with their veterans, and they signed long-term deals in a lot of cases and didn't work out. So sometimes you have to make a tough decision in business. Got a little bit of the New England Patriots kind of mentality. Hey, what's great? We love the guy we won. That'll never change, but sometimes you have to move on. When you look at the acquisition of Brady Tkachuk, if for fun today, where do you see him lining up? Like, is he playing on his line with his brother, or what do you think is going to happen?
I'm not sure. It's going to be flexible throughout the course of the season. Those top 9 forwards that we have, you can flip them into any slot, and you know this as well as anyone. I'll do my homework for the opening day, and I'll write down the lines on opening day. And 20 games later, I've probably seen 15 different combinations of those lines that I had. And then once you get into game 82, you've seen every combination possible. The majority of the time, I would think that they would start and give it a try to see what the brothers look like together. And they'll tempo it out. Paul Maurice is smart enough, definitely at the start of the year, to try different schemes and different positionings with players than to see what kind of fits. Like, they understand that Barkov and Reinhart fit really well together. Who's under that wing? But beyond that, I really feel that our top 9 that you can put into any kind of order and you'll have success. And that's why bringing Brady Tkachuk on, they do the analytics and the homework. It passes through our scouts. It goes into all kinds of different decision making before they eventually pull a trigger on the guy. Does he fit in the room? All that kind of stuff. And the answer on Brady, like all the guys we acquire, was yes. And so number one is, does he fit the system? Dump, chase, hard to play against, get the puck back? Yes. So is it going to be a good fit in the locker room? I imagine with his brother and leadership, that's also going to be another thing that's a plus. So beside the hockey and everything that they dig into, this Panther team, it's not just, Brady Tkachuk's out there, he's available, let's go get him. Even though it's Matthew's brother, they do the due diligence all the way down and dotting the I's and crossing the T's to make sure that everything is going to fit.
Bill Lindsay joins us. You look at the division, Bill, and hey, Buffalo and Montreal have improved. There's no question about that. But Florida, they had a ton of injuries. I think that played a part in where they ended up in the standings. And Tampa Bay still always very good. Ottawa obviously lost Brady Tkachuk, and that just adds another rival for the Panthers. But the Atlanta, and I guess even Toronto, they made some significant moves. Like it's probably the deepest division in hockey. I think it's fair to say right now. And the fact that they can be healthy coming into next season is going to be a big deal for them. But when you watched them last year, how much of it was injuries and how much of it was just them not playing as well as they're capable of playing?
So the style that they went through, it's Paul Maurice demands a lot. And I could see at the start of the year, they came off, they're still riding that high, got off to a pretty good start. And then some other injuries beyond Barkov and Tkachuk started to pile up. And you're getting into kind of different rosters, some players from the American Hockey League that you're not used to. And there were some games that some of the players, too, I would just say there's no chance tonight. There's no gas. With the way the Olympic break and all the games crammed together, I would see and watch our team play, and I just said, there's nothing. There is zero in the tank tonight. There's no way that they can push into that level. I've been there. I've experienced it. I understand when you don't have your legs underneath you. There was a lot of those nights. And then just the mental tear that it kind of takes onto your body once you're playing all those games. So I think once you kind of add all that up cumulatively and trying to press for another Stanley Cup, it was just too much to ask and just too tall of an order for our team. They'll be able to bounce back. They'll be able to get right, put the muscle back onto the body. But last year, Paul Maurice said, he said he could handle 4 injuries to the regulars, but he said once we got into 5 or 6, he says, we believed we could win games, but it just wasn't feasible long term, and that's what happened over the course of 82 games. It wilted down, and we didn't make the playoffs. But healthy back, everything going. This team should be right near the top again, as you said, in one of the best divisions in hockey.
Having watched all those other teams, Montreal, Buffalo, Ottawa, which ones do you think is set up to remain good? Because we've seen teams do it one year and then you fall out, right? Like it's hard to be a playoff team every year. Hey, you're closer in that division. Which one of those teams do you think is best suited to remain a competitive team with the Panthers?
Buffalo, I'd put there, and Montreal is going. They're both going to be there. You look at the young cores on both those teams, and what you have to have in this league, you got to establish just a young core of players that kind of come into the league and develop and get stronger and build with one another. If I see Buffalo and I look down the roster, I actually think it is a tied deeper maybe than the Montreal Canadiens, but there's more high skill level on the Montreal side, which makes it both highly, highly intriguing. What I saw from Buffalo this year that really changed is that they didn't back down. They didn't scare away. They didn't shy. Like Benson, Benson was a player. I always thought, okay, well, he's just another one of those middle of the road small guys that kind of get in there. But what you can do? But when I saw him playing in the playoffs with that ferocity and that intensity, I was like, yeah, that's a little different Benson than I knew, or even a Quinn or some of those other players that they threw onto that ice. That they were playing and competing, and they had a grind to their game, and like Montreal was just more electric. It's just when you watch the Canadians and you watch them play, like I mentioned about the goaltending, to get as far as they did with Montembeault just out of the pitcher and get it done as Dobis kind of just being the guy that you had to ride, and Dobis was able to do it. They got better defensively, still a lot offensively. Buffalo is more well-rounded on the defensive side of the puck when I watch them play in person. It's more detailed. It's a little bit more free-flowing in Montreal under Marty St. Louis. So I think to reach the ultimate goal, they might have to tighten up that ship defensively, but they're both going to be there. They're both playoff teams from here on out. So I put them into the top of the division. Now it's between us and Tampa Bay that you're starting to figure in Ottawa to fill out the roles in Toronto. Everyone else, where do you finish? So I feel that we're kind of into that, and Tampa Bay, and who knows who's next down that road. It's just going to be a juggernaut of a division, and that's why the Panthers prepped like they did. But I at this point, just seems like Montreal and Buffalo are there to stay near the top and just keep. They look like they're teams that have got talent, and they're going to keep building around it to get better.
Bill Lindsay joins us, analyst for the Florida Panthers. And Bill, we know the Panthers and Tampa Bay have an unreal rivalry. It's very heated, which is awesome. Like I think rivalries are great in sports. I'd like to see more of them. And I think Ottawa and Florida is automatically, I don't know if it'll maintain it. Ottawa doesn't necessarily have a team that's really built for it. But, Buffalo last year, they decided, okay, as you talked about it, like enough's enough. We're not going to get pushed around here a little bit. Like it's become a lot more. I find the East, and I look at Washington, they're massive. Like it's become the more physical of the two conferences. I don't even think it's close right now.
Yeah, I would agree on that. It's the skill level. It's a different game. It's just, if you like the Western teams, when you watch, it's speed and it's pushing the play and it's looking for 2-on-1s and 3-on-2s. And on this side, it's just lunch pail and hard hat. There's a lot of teams that have copied the Panthers system in the East, the 1-3-1 through the middle of the zone. And I look at the dump in rate among teams, that has changed drastically. A lot more teams have gone into the dump and chase that we employ, the rim dumps, all that kind of stuff, and get the puck back, and they're sort of building their rosters around that. So it's a heavier division. And yeah, you watch a lot of the games. They're just heavy. It's heavy. You got to have that brand. You got to have those mentalities on your team, or you're not gonna have focus. I wouldn't say it's. I don't know if the hockey. I would say that it's absolutely better in the East, or it is different. The Western team, it's speed. It's you're going to give up a few more goals, and it's going to be it's a little bit better brand of hockey maybe to watch in the West. I'm not lying about that. I guess it depends on where you are as a purist to the game, but. Yeah, it's a lot more tight checking in the East, and then the games are hard fought, and there's a ton of rivalries that we have got going. As you mentioned, the Tampa Bay, Florida one is outrageous. It took a long time to build, but it's here.
Oh God! And it's not manufactured, Bill. You played when guys literally don't like each other, and those two teams, they don't like each other.
No, and it's so good. What's happened really, what's been special for me, and that I've been able to really take in and. Just we never had rivalries for 20 years. We didn't, Jason. That was the point of just being bad. All of a sudden, you go through 3 Stanley Cup runs, and the teams that you beat and that you roll over. Now, every time you go into a Carolina, or you go into to a Tampa Bay, or you go into Boston or Carolina, you have rivalries with half the East. Just because of your playoff history, and it's everyone's gunning for you. It's just made for. It's been fun. We went through some bad times and tough, and everyone. I don't know if everyone forgets that, but I don't. We struggled, and it was hard. And to get to this where we've had to work, we've had to earn it, and we're trying to stay here the best that we can. But yeah, it's put your best foot forward every step of the way, and that's what this Panther organization. Just continues you continue to strive. You're not going to get perfection, but you're always just trying to continue to do your best. And those rivalries just heat up to a different magnitude. When you have a target on your back during the regular season, it's amazing how hard teams play against you every single night.
Quickly, Bill, I want to get your thoughts. The Anaheim Ducks, will they match, or are they going to let Carlson go? What do you think happens by Friday?
I would match it. I'm not sure. 4 first-round draft picks, maybe later rounds. Don't know what they pan out to be. Leo Carls. Look, if they give Kaprizov $17 million and the function of a 21-year-old, I was reading the article someday, I think maybe today in The Athletic, about McKinnon's first 3-4 years in the league being around the 62-point mark. It seems like Leo Carlson, with the size and strength, and the way that he skates, is going to be a perennial 35, minimum 80, 85 point man, probably into the 100 points. I would match the deal. You got a career centerman that those are hard to come by. He's big. He's got all the attributes that you want. They're hard. They're rarities. They're rarities in the NHL. I would match if I'm Anaheim. I know it's a tough position. It's going to take up a large part of your salary cap. I would match. If I was the GM, they should have done something sooner. Pat Burvik, and I don't know what kind of games they were playing. They could have got this wrapped up for $11-12 million probably at the same term. But now they're under the gun, and I believe they have to match it. And just franchise centermen don't fall in your lap. Like, I look at Barkov, and I wouldn't put Carlson in that same sort of category, but he will have the same sort of effect on a team long term, potentially, to be into that group that you talk about, maybe a Barkov or all the elite centermen. He has the potential to be a top 10 player in the NHL.
Yeah, for sure. Bill, really appreciate your stuff, man. Have an awesome day.
All right, Jason, all the best. Thanks. All the best in Edmonton.
You betcha. That's Bill Lindsay, a longtime analyst, former NHLer for the Florida Panthers. Let's get to Declan Kruger, Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Go Auto. Not only do they have a massive selection of vehicles, over 15,000 at 73 different locations, they also love giving back to the communities where they work to the tune of over $27 million. So you're going to get a great deal, and you also know that probably comes back and helps your community later. GoAuto.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Wimbledon quarterfinal results from earlier today with Sasha Zverev and Arthur Ferrer winning their matches in straight sets in the men's side. Elsewhere in the women's quarters was Linda Noskova over Elise Martins and Marta Koska over Jasmine Paolini, also in straight sets. MLB action right now. Blue Jays lead the Giants 5-0 in at the top of the 6th. Next up on the dock, we're going to see the Cubs and the Orioles at 4:35. In the late game, we'll see the Rockies and Dodgers at 8:10. News in the sporting world, Barrett Hayden has had his offer sheet matched by the Utah Mammoth. They will not be able to trade the pending UFA. And Connor Bedard is set to miss the next 4 months after shoulder surgery. I'm Declan Kruger. This is the Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Support your bones so you can stay active this summer. For the month of July, all CanPrev brand magnesium and collagen supplements are 15% off regular price. Only at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
You may get up early, but more than likely, the team at GS Construction have already gotten up before you, grabbed a coffee, headed to the site, and started their day. So while Edmonton wakes up, GS crews are already underground, quietly keeping things moving, upgrading, and laying the new underground infrastructure for our growing city. If you're the kind of person who goes to sleep with their steel-toed boots on, GS Construction wants to hear from you. We're looking for a maintenance foreman as well as a building and yard attendant. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more.
Albertans love to debate the best way to enjoy summer sports.
No. Playing on the field is the best, man.
No way. Watching from the sidelines, way more relaxing.
You're both crazy. Checking out the game from the Bro Zone is where it's at.
But there's one thing every sports fan agrees on.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Wherever you catch the action, load up on Alberta's best beef jerky.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
.311. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch. Thanks as always for listening and watching the show. It's brought to you by playalberta.ca, where you can get in the game. Hey, there, if you want to switch your odds now on who you like, you got a little special on, do you like France to win? Who knows? You got 8 teams left. France, Argentina, Spain, How can you count out Belgium? Just how good they looked. Again, now, who knows, though? Was that like their big game? You know what? Emotional, all the screw you, Donald Trump, everything else like that. Can they bounce back? We'll see. Then you got England, who's looked pretty good too, man. Can't wait. It's been a great tournament. Looking very much forward to it. So you can check that out at playalberta.ca. We also got some Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials for you to get in on some of the action, if you wish. Little Elks. We're going with we're on the Rankin train to see if Rankin going to get 100 yards rushing again. So check that out at playalberta.ca. Hey, we got loads of text to get to. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Guys, even just listen to the Panther guy. Can't stand him. When do the Oilers play them? From Dan. Well, we'll find out, Dan, actually, next Thursday. Because I don't think the Oilers' home opener will be against the Panthers. The NHL will release home openers next Wednesday, and then the schedule will come out on Thursday. And remember, it will be an 84-game season. The season is going to begin earlier this year, start in everything. Training camps a bit earlier. You look at the Oilers' schedule will come out, and also now maybe I'm in the minority here because I get a little tired of covering preseason games that are dreadful. There's only 4 preseason games this year. They open up at home against the Jets. How about this on a Saturday night? It's like I'm going back to my youth. A 6 o'clock Saturday start. Preseason game. Oilers and the Jets. Then they'll go to Winnipeg on Tuesday the 22nd. Then they're in Vancouver on Thursday the 24th. And then they wrap up their preseason Saturday the 26th against the Canucks. So basically 4 games in 8 days. Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Done. And the regular season will start on either the Tuesday, the 29th, or Wednesday, the 30th. We're going to have NHL September regular season action this year. So the Oilers, who knows where they'll start. There's nothing big in Edmonton that's going to kick them out for any lengthy period of time. As far as that. So, if they have a challenging schedule, it would more so probably be just like a 6-game road trip at some point in the season, which happens. But they're not going to have a lengthy one, or they shouldn't. Anyway, I guess anything's possible. But if you recall the Oilers' season last year, it began at home. They had games against Calgary and Vancouver, and then they went on I think it was a 5-game road trip right off the bat. And I do know that teams put in requests for what they like. And lots of times teams will say, oh, you know what? We don't mind a road trip earlier in the year. Like for years, Washington always used to come in early October. It was just kind of like a guarantee. It happened all the time. So, well, we'll see where it comes. But the Dylan Cease's perfect game is no longer, as he's had 2 walks. But he's got 8 Ks through 5 1/3 so far. Still, no hits. So something to monitor. I saw that the other day. A guy had a perfect game through 7, and they took him out of the game. Like, come on. Like, I'm sorry. That's where your whole number. And I know it was his 3rd game back. I don't care. You got a perfect freaking game going. To me, that takes a little bit of fun out of it. Did you see last night? Oh God, I got to get his name. The Milwaukee Brewer pitcher or hitter batted left for the first time in his career. Because it was in the 9th inning. They're spanking him like 10-1. You got like a Miles Straw position player pitching. It's like a little moon ball almost. And you switch and hit the other way. It was awesome. Now, I didn't get a hit, but I thought it was funny. Like, have a little fun sometimes. But, man, you got a chance at a perfect game? A perfect game. And you're saying no to it. Like, I just think you're overthinking things a little bit there for certain. Hey, guys, what's your thoughts on Rankin? Any concern on the fumbles? I think it's a concern. I don't think it's a major concern because, and I asked him about it, and we played it in the first hour of the show. To me, it was a little bit of, it's got to be more focused, and it starts in practice. And as a coaching staff, you could implement drills. Okay, guys, let's get the defense. Let's knock it out here. Because the Elks have done a great job of creating fumbles, but unfortunately, they're fumbling too much lately. Rankin's had 3 fumbles that were recovered by the other team. He had a 4th fumble that was recovered while Bodner hit it out of bounds. Otherwise, that's 1 a game, and that's way too much. I know that he touches the ball a lot, but you can't be fumbling on 5% of your carries or touches because he basically gets about 20 touches a game. So if you're going, and he's had 4 fumbles, it's not good enough. 3 were recovered by the opposition, but he still fumbled the ball 4 times, and that's just too high. It's too high of a number. When we come back, Nick Olczyk will join us. Offer sheet 1 has been matched. Will we see another match this week? We'll find out on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And now that the Utah Mammoth did match Barrett Hayton, what other moves are they looking at? Do they have too many forwards? Do they have a trade coming? We'll find out next here on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991. Or visit silentrides.ca.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Support your bones so you can stay active this summer. For the month of July, all CanPrev brand magnesium and collagen supplements are 15% off regular price. Only at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
It might have been scraped by the snowblower, dented while door crashing, or crunched at the company Christmas party. At some point over the winter, your car was damaged and it's been hiding under a coat of winter grime.
Then come and see Robertson Body Works. We can take care of the damage and the dirt. This week only, call and book a repair and get a complete auto detailing absolutely free.
But you have to book your appointment before the week is up. Go to robertsonbodyworks.com.
I'm Tim Robertson, and I fix cars.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Puck Drop special at Papa John's. Large 2-topping pizza and 8-piece wings for only $28.99 with promo code PuckDrop at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.322, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Declan Kruger, alongside Donovan Paulson here on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. I was always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Man, busy sports weekend. Of course, you got the Riverhawks. They're at home tonight through until Sunday. You got the Elks game on Thursday. And if you're a big rugby fan, you got some elite level rugby going on at Clark Park on Saturday. And one ticket gets you into both games. Spain and Tonga at 2:45, and then Canada, Portugal. These are all top 25 teams in the world in rugby, and Canada and Spain, an exciting 42-42 draw last Saturday. So the Rugby Nations Cup continues on here in Edmonton, and if you want to go, if you're a big rugby fan, I would highly, highly recommend checking it out. It's some great rugby. Now, let's continue to talk some NHL as we go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. Take action on your savings, actionelectrical.net. Nick Olchek joins us, a beat reporter for the Utah Mammoth. And Nick, I don't think it's a real big surprise, but the Mammoth today match the Barrett Hayton offer sheet, $4.775 million. For him, what do you think the odds are that he signs an extension? Obviously, it can't happen until in the new year, but do you think they have plans for him to be there long-term?
Hey, Jason, first off, great to be with you. I really appreciate you having me on the show. I think today the Utah Mammoth are a better team from what Barrett Hayton has meant to this organization, an original draft pick back in 2018, of course, in Arizona, 5th overall. And then I think, the one thing is, look, offensively, in terms of his productivity, a down year last year for him, no doubt. 67 games. He battled through some injuries, only 10 goals and 25 points, where I think in a normal season for him, he's proven that he can be a 40, 45, with maybe a ceiling of, 55 type of point guy. And for a player that's just now coming into his prime at 26 years of age. And I think he's been a guy that is beloved in the room, a real key and important part of the camaraderie and the chemistry of this group. Of course, having been in this organization for the last handful of seasons, and has really grown into a role of a guy that can do a little bit of everything. We mentioned the career numbers that he can find a way and come through with when he's playing at his best. And you want a guy that can be a two-way guy that isn't going to be overly flashy. That's Barrett Hayton, who can fill holes. And I think when you look at this decision to match the offer sheet and keep him on the roster for one more year, now, you look at the center depth for the Utah Mammoth up and down. It's got to be towards the upper echelon of the entire National Hockey League. Of course, the headlining offseason edition via trade, bringing in Vincent Trocheck, who I think is going to continue to do wonders here for the Mammoth. Another one of those two-way guys, elite guy in the middle of the ice in terms of face-off. So now, you've got Trocheck and Stenlin as two centers who, that there's a pretty darn good chance that when they're out there, whether they're up a goal late, down a goal late, that one of those two guys are going to win a draw. When Logan Cooley was hurt last season, Nick Schmaltz filled into the center ice position in a huge way. Is he going to start next year at center? We'll see how everything shakes out, but he certainly proved for most of the season after Cooley went down that he could come in and be a number one center or be a number two center. And then, of course, you got Logan Cooley and Barrett Hayton and any of these guys too, Jason, they can fill in on the wing too. That's so it's it's an embarrassment of riches up the middle for the Mammoth right now. But in terms of Hayton in particular, I think that with the history with the organization, how much the guys in the organization love him as a player, and deciding to match the offer sheet speaks volumes of that. You don't need to hear that from me. I think that very much a window could be open to an extension once that window opens in the new year. Just considering that look, is he going to put up 25 goals? Is he going to get you 70 points? Well, you would hope. But when he's playing at his best, his two-way game, ability to win faceoffs on the left-hand side of the ice, those are his strengths. And bringing him back and making sure that he's part of this team as the Mammoths continue to rise, I think is a great bit of business. And I got no doubt that the Mammoths are better next year with Barrett Hayton now back as part of the team.
You didn't even mention Jack McBain, another guy who I think took over 600 faceoffs for Utah. When you look at McBain, do you think he's better as a winger or a center?
I love big guys in the middle, Jason. I really do. And again, it kind of goes into the conversation of how many centers that the Mammoth have. And I really like them in the middle. But then again, with as much responsibility as there is there, as you know, especially deep down in the offensive zone, in the D zone, if the puck gets chipped out, then it's chipped in. Usually not, of course, not always, but sometimes the center isn't always the first guy in because of the responsibilities down low in his own end. And I think in terms of forecheckers, I would certainly put Barrett Hayton on the list of one of the best for the Mammoth. But for me, Jack McBain is going, if he's the first guy in on the forecheck, he's going in there to either take the puck or leave a bruise. And a lot of times it's both. So I really don't think you can go wrong having him on the wing or in the middle, but I love size in the middle of the ice. And he's 6'4". He's imposing. He can win faceoffs for you, no doubt. And when you talk about going up against another team's top six center, he's the kind of guy that can really smolder you and play you physically and not give you any sort of easy ice. So I think he is another one of those guys, a lot like Barrett Hayton, that you want him to play on the wing. Okay, great. You want him to play in the middle. He's more than capable, more than smart enough to be able to do that as well. So I am a huge fan of Jack McBain's game, because I think when you look up and down the Mammoth roster, there's not a ton of crashers and bangers that have that big size. Look, you've got Kevin Stenlin, who's a big boy. You've got Lawson Krause, who had an incredible bounce-back season last year. Again, part of the 20-goal club for the last 5 years for him. He needed a bounce-back year, and all the credit in the world to him. So all of a sudden now you add those bodies and you bring in Anders Lee. Okay, now you're really talking, because you've got multiple guys well over 6'2", 6'3", that are going to be nuisances around the net, that are going to be able to be real difference makers on the forecheck and be hard to play against. Because that was the one thing I think we saw in the playoffs in the first round against the Vegas Golden Knights, is there were times where Vegas' size took over, but then the Mammoth were able to counterpunch with the great speed that they have with a guy like a Logan Cooley, Dylan Gunther, so on and so forth. So now, I think General Manager Bill Armstrong just continues to fine-tune this roster. Yes, of course, I'm sure there will be more pieces added as we go along here. We'll see what next season brings, but now you've got plenty of speed, plenty of skill, and now you're getting in some real good size as well with a guy like Lee coming in, and then you look at the back end too, and I think that's another real strong point of this team's roster.
I think that they're very high on Logan Cooley, and rightfully so. Obviously the injury last year kind of slowed him down, but he was on pace to be a guy that 70+ points. Nick Schmaltz had 33 goals, 74 points. Keller had a career 88 points. Dylan Gunther 40 goals. Like, Utah can score, right? Like they had 6 guys with 24 goals or more, and then they added Anders Lee to this team, so they definitely can spread it around. On paper, Utah should be able to take a next step and really compete for one of those top 3 spots in the Central.
No question, Jason. And all you have to do is just look at it as objectively as you can, and don't take it from a guy that covers the Mammoths for 8.5 months out of the season. But you've got a head coach, Andre Tourigny, who well-deservedly so got a contract extension, a multi-year deal. in the offseason. He has been a guy that has increased his win total for his team each of the last 5 seasons. I think there's only been 2 other coaches in NHL history that have done that. So he has certainly been pushing the right buttons and walking that very fine line of developing young players, helping improve some of the more established guys, all under the guise of it's a results-based business. First year when they were the Utah Hockey Club, the expectations were clear from general manager Bill Armstrong, president of hockey operations Chris Armstrong, and their staff is in year one. The goal was let's play meaningful games. Let's be competitive towards the end of the season, and we'll see where we go. The Mammoth only ended up missing, the playoffs by 7 points in their first year. Okay, they were in the mix. They were playing competitive games come March and April. And then last year in the off season, it was, okay, we want to make the playoffs. And then look what happened. They went on a couple of huge runs during the year. Of course, there were some valleys as well, but they found a way. They got into the playoffs. They won a couple of games against the Vegas Golden Knights. Mammoth Nation saw 3 great games at the Delta Center, and it just wasn't enough. But you hope through that experience that the likes of Cooley and Gunther, who had the first taste of playoff hockey, that those guys could not only have learned, okay, this is what it's like, but be even better prepared the next time that this team does make the playoffs. So, you look at young teams around the National Hockey League that are ready to burst. You think about what Anaheim did last year, all of the offseason additions for the San Jose Sharks. I think they're going to be a playoff team next year, but it's kind of this wave now of young teams that are finally starting to see their draft picks come into fruition, bring in some older pieces, bring in some established pieces to round out their roster and make it a playoff team. And so now I think this is kind of the next wave, the next grouping of teams that are going to come in and hopefully be some of the more dominant teams in the entire National Hockey League for the next couple of years. But there is no doubt that the Mammoths have become a destination for players to want to come to, aka the Anders Lee free agent signing. How about Mackenzie Weegar last year at the deadline, electing to waive his no trade clause to come to the Mammoth? So you look at all these things along with the young players. This is a team that is very much coming into their own, and I got no doubt that next year, when you think about expectations, okay, we were competitive, we made the playoffs. Now the expectation is, okay, playoffs, that's a bare minimum. How about we get in and try to find a way to win around? I think that is the next step for this Utah Mammoth team.
Mick, I really appreciate it, man. It should be fun. Give me your thoughts. Are the Ducks going to do what the Mammoth did? They're going to, obviously it's a much higher match, but are you expecting them to match? Yeah. Or do you think they potentially walk and have a trade?
Yeah, Jason, this one for me is, I think the drama of the offer sheets is, I kind of like it. I do. I think we've entered kind of a new era for how teams are run. And you have to applaud in a way what Danny Briere and Keith Jones did there in Philadelphia. We've only seen a handful of offer sheets in recent memory. Even going back 7 years. I think it was the Sebastian Aho deal, right? That was eventually matched by Carolina back in 2019. And then, then of course you had the Jesperi Kotkaniemi one that was a successful offer sheet. Then the Broberg and Holloway in St. Louis. And then of course 2 more this summer with that one. I just think if you're Anaheim, I don't know how you can afford to lose a guy that I think is one of the top premier centers in the league, and a guy that's only going to get better. But then again, the haul that you're getting back for it, if you do, boy oh boy, you could really make a case to use those draft picks, the amount of first rounders that they're going to get, and go out and say maybe we can go get another center who may not be Leo Carlson, but will be a guy that's going to come in and we're going to plug into the first line and hope that he can be a guy that can lead us down the line. But it's a dramatic summer. And I do think that the offer sheets are going to continue to be more prevalent as time goes along. But I'm all for it because I'm a guy that I try not to be a so-called dinosaur and say, okay, well, that's the way we used to do it. That's the way guys used to get paid. How can they get paid like this? How can this be something that's used? Well, it's legal. And we'll see how these teams elect to use offer sheets moving forward. But if I had to go on a limb, Jason, I don't see how there's a way you can let Leo Carlsson go. Yes, it's going to force you to do some cap gymnastics. It might put you in a tough spot in terms of signing other players, but I just think he's too good of a guy to let go.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Appreciate it, Nick. Have yourself an awesome day.
Thanks a lot for having me, Jason. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk to you soon.
There you go. That is Nick Olchek joining us from Utah. They matched the Barrett Hayton offer sheet. So we got a lot of text people wondering Friday is when the Ducks have until to match the offer sheet from the Philadelphia Flyers. I think they're going to match it. I don't think they're going to love it, but I think they're going to match it. We'll return. We got stats of the day, and then we're going to get into a roundtable segment, something we're going to add every day new in the show, starting at 4 o'clock today. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Support your bones so you can stay active this summer. For the month of July, all CanPrev brand magnesium and collagen supplements are 15% off regular price. Only at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Cantork has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Kickoff is coming July 9th. Elks, Red Blacks at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Salute to Service presented by YEG Plus. Help us celebrate the heroes and first responders who make our communities great. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Canada's men's rugby team at Clark Stadium, July 11th. Don't miss an international doubleheader as Canada takes on Portugal and Tonga battles Spain. Build the home field advantage for Team Canada. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
Day or night, tasting just the right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchek here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
Cheering on Canada, Mexico, Australia, France, England, Brazil, Germany, Spain, and the rest of the world at the Druid Irish Pub.
Your World Cup headquarters.
Wear your colors, cheer on your team, and enjoy $6.50 Heineken every game.
Plus, your chance to win a ton of World Cup merch,
including hoodies, jerseys, soccer balls, and more.
The Druid Irish Pub, your World Cup headquarters.
Bringing Edmonton together, one soccer game at a time.
The Druid Irish Pub.
Cheer with us in the Mercer Building across from Rogers Place in Ice District.
I'm Rick Showers from Noble RV, and 5 years ago, a lot of people bought their first RV. Not because they were really into the RVing, but because camping was literally the only thing you could do with your vacation time. You couldn't go on a cruise, travel was a nightmare. So you bought an RV and you enjoyed it. But now you have all your options back again. And that RV you bought during COVID might be sitting around costing you money.
An RV needs love, care, and attention whether you use it or not, right, Rick?
That's right, Bob. It's okay to declare it was the right solution for the time, but those times have changed. And you might find that an RV doesn't fit your plans anymore. And that's okay, because we can sell it for you. Pass it along to a family that would choose camping over anything else available in the world today. So bring it to No Bull RV. Together, we'll celebrate what it did for you when you needed it and what it can do for you now that it's time to move on.
And that's No Bull. NoBullRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. Made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at www.cantork.com.
Look good, feel good, play good. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for listening to Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.342, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Declan Cougar, Donovan Paulson, as the no watch is on in San Francisco right now. Dylan C says no hit the 49. I would say 49ers. The Giants threw 7 innings. I always find it funny. So here, like the first inning, second inning, third inning, the pitcher comes back from the mound. He's in the dugout and everybody's there. They just sit there, whatever. As you get into the 7th or 8th, he's got a no-no, and now everybody changes, and they all don't sit beside him. It makes no sense to me. Like, it's dumb. You sat beside him for the first few innings, and now suddenly no one sits beside him? Like, to me, it's kind of comical. But you know what? Hey, people are superstitious and everything. I understand all that, but it just, so you're actually, we're not going to talk to him, but you're changing what was happening in the first year. Not saying that every guy was walking by, hey, Caesar, what's going on, right? But still. Like, and I know the Jays, like I think they're going above and beyond now. Like there's no one even remotely close to him. Sometimes a guy would go sit and everybody moves away a little bit, but there's no one even sitting down. So it is interesting. Now he is at 105 pitches, but when he ended the 7th, as he was walking off, he signaled right away, like, I'm not coming out. So, I'm sure they'll decide after the 8th inning if he's up to 120. I'd love him to get a few guys swinging on a few pitches and get him out of, 6 or 7 pitches. That would be nice. But the Jays have only had one no-hitter in franchise history. It happened in September of 1990. Dave Stieb. Now, Dave Stieb had 2 other no-hitters and a perfect game all end with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Like Dave Stieb was damn good. I think sometimes we forget just how good he was. So anyway, that's a little watch for that. Now let's get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction, underground utilities, power, gas, telecommunication. That's what they do. And guess what? You could work for them because they are hiring right now. Go to Indeed.com, look up All Star Constructions, construction laborers, backhoe operators, equipment operators, hydrovac operators, gas piping technicians. They're hiring them right now. Check it out at Indeed.com for All Star Construction. So we got a lot of stats to get to. So let's go. Last night, the Joker outlasted Felix Auger-Aliassime. It was now he wins in the quarter, so that makes his 8th straight Wimbledon semifinal, which breaks a tie with Roger Federer for the longest such streak ever. It's also his record extending 55th major semifinal. Federer is next at 46. And the 39-year-old has a Sinner on Friday to get a spot in the final, which will obviously be very tough. But it's hard to win. And if he wins this major, he would then have the most majors ever, right? Between men or women. Pretty impressive. But a lot of times, it's not just about winning. It's like when you're there 55 times in a semifinal. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, last night in baseball, there was some wild stuff happening. So Shohei Ohtani hit his 300th career home run in his 1101st game. He became the 5th fastest player in MLB history to reach it. Only Aaron Judge, 955 games, Ralph Kiner, 1,087. Ryan Howard, 1,093. And Juan Gonzalez, 1,096. Like Aaron Judge did it in 955 games, killing it early on in his career. So Shohei, how many is he going to end up with? Could he get to the 500 club? I think it's realistic. I really do. So that's, if you do it that he's averaging 100 home runs kind of every 370 games. So he would need 740 games. So we do the math on that. What's that? Another just over 5 seasons? Yeah, I think there's a chance he could do it for sure. And we didn't mention this, I forgot the other day, but on Monday night, the Royals pulled off one of the rarest feats in baseball. They beat the Phillies 15-1. They became only the 21st team in history to score a run in every single inning. The only thing in baseball, and baseball covers stats of everything, like perfect games have happened more often in baseball than a team scoring a run in every inning. Think about that. Perfect games have happened more than that. 4 home run games, like by one player hitting 4 home runs, they're now tied with 21 each. That and a team scoring a run in every inning. The only thing that has happened less amongst major plays, unassisted triple plays, there's been 15 of those in MLB history, and 20 strikeout games. There's only been 5 of those in MLB history. And Roger Clemens, of course, did it. Kerry Woods has done it. Randy Johnson, Max Scherzer. And that's it. Because Clemens did it twice. Wild enough. So 10 years apart, in fact. So old Rocket was pretty good. Was he on the juice, though? Who knows? Who knows? Now, speaking of hits and the Royal, how about Tyler Tolbert? How many of you have heard of Tyler Tolbert? Anyone? Well, he's a second baseman for the Kansas City Royals. Last night, he went 5 for 5. The game before, he went 5 for 5. Game before that, he went 2 for 2. In his last 12 plate appearances, he's got a hit. That ties an MLB record, 12 consecutive plate appearances with a hit. The only other players to do it, Johnny Kling did it in 1902 and Walt Dropo in 1952. So if you want to watch a game tonight, watch the Kansas City Royal game just to see, because you could see something that's never happened. A player gets 13 consecutive hits at plate appearances. Because when we say it's 12 consecutive plate appearances, like if you get a walk, I know that's not considered a bat. That's not the record. It's like every time you're up to the plate, you're not walking, you're not getting on in thin air, you're getting a hit. That is, man, I think that's pretty damn impressive for me. Also, how about this last? Did you see it? And I don't know if you saw the post-game interview from Paul Skeens after, but that was the best. But anyway, Ryan O'Hearn drove in 10 runs last night. 10. He had a 3 home run game and 10 RBIs in the 6th inning. It's unreal. They crushed Atlanta 12-2. But that was a pretty good performance by Ryan O'Hearn. I don't know if you saw Paul Skeens' post-game. They asked him about, hey, what'd you think of the performance? And he goes, well, to be honest, man, home runs, they're kind of a rally killer. Like you have a 3-run home run. Now the next guy gets up and there's no one on base. It was hilarious. And the best part was, this is where you can tell at times in our society, common sense is dwindling. People, they showed the clip. People actually thought he was serious. What a selfish guy. What an idiot. I'm like, oh my goodness. That might be the great, and hey, he was deadpan. Obviously he smiled near the end, but it was so hilarious. Like, it's kind of selfish just hitting 3-run home runs. It's a rally killer. There's no one left on base for the next guy. Oh God, it was funny. So you don't see that very often. So good for him. And hey, the Jays yesterday, they broke out of their slump because in their previous 3 games, they'd had a franchise low 7 hits in 3 games and 1 run. They had 13 hits and 9 runs last night. Jonathan Classe. I just like saying his name. I feel classier. And Classe hit the 3-run bomb in the second inning, and the Jays bats have continued to be good as they've put up 7 runs today. Now, they didn't really need them. They scored 5 in the first, and they just scored 2 in the 8th because Dylan Cease has yet to give up a hit as he takes to the mound to start the 8th inning right now for the Jays. So we'll update you on that. Hey, Gregor, what's the difference between a no-hitter and a perfect game? No-hitter is where you just don't give up a hit, but you give up walks. Like Dylan Cease today hasn't given up a hit, but he's had base runners, 3 walks. So a perfect game means no one reaches base by an error or by a walk. No one's on. 27 batters, 27 outs. That's a perfect game. You can have a no-hitter. Heck, you can have a no-hitter and walk 5 guys. Still a no-hitter. So you just don't give up a hit. So that's the difference between the two of them. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, Greg's, when was the most recent no-hitter in MLB? Ooh, honestly, that's a good question. Who has the most recent no-hitter? I don't think there's been one. Or no, there was a bullpen no-hitter this year. Was there not? Like a combination, right? If I'm not mistaken. I thought there was a no-hitter pitched earlier this year, like 3 guys from one team combined on it. So, but as mentioned by the Jays, they've only had 1, and that was way back on September 2nd, 1990. And Mr. Varsho just made a great running grab, crash into the center field wall to keep the no-hit bid alive. So Cease is 5 outs away from a no-no, which would be obviously extremely impressive. Extremely impressive. Something that doesn't happen very often, man. You got to be on the game. Quick break. Let's get to Declan Kruger, Donovan Paulson. When we return, we are going to get to a little roundtable segment where each of us bring up a topic and the others we debate on whether or not it's going to, is it good? Is it bad? We'll see. Let's get to Declan Kruger and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services that you can feel good about, get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. HireGood.ca. Stable jobs create stable lives. And Cease just punched out another batter. It's his 10th strikeout of the game. He's down to 4 outs for a no-hitter.
The Sports 1440 update.
As Jason just mentioned, in that one, the Blue Jays leading 7-0, and Dylan Cease only 4 outs left for the no-hitters. They take on the Giants. Next game up on the dock will be the Cubs and the Orioles at 4:35, A's and Tigers at 4:40, as are the Braves and Pirates and Yankees and Rays. Late game tonight in the MLB, we'll see the Rockies and Dodgers at 8:10. In Wimbledon today, men's quarters, it was Sasha Zverev and Arthur Ferry winning their quarterfinal matchups in straight sets. In the women's quarters, it was Linda Noskova over Elise Martins and Marta Kostak over Jasmine Paolini, also in straight sets. News from around the sporting world, Connor Bedard with a shoulder injury is set to miss 4 months after his surgery. And the Utah Mammoth did, in fact, match Bear Hayden's offer sheet from the Devils, but will not be able to trade the pending UFA. Elsewhere in the NHL world, Daniel Alfredson confirming he did, in fact, interview for the Maple Leafs head coaching gig. And in the CFL, Jake Delagala has been named the Tiger Cats Week 6 starter against the Saskatchewan Roughriders in place of Trey Ford with Levi Mitchell's injury. Edmonton Riverhawks also in action tonight as they take on the Nanaimo. 7:05 first pitch. Take that one down at Remax. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been Sports 1440 Update.
1440 Stingray Radio Station. CHJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Experience the home ice advantage with your window coverings. Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and fast turnaround on rollers, zebra, blackout, drapery, and motorized blinds. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
You may get up early, but more than likely, the team at GS Construction have already gotten up before you, grabbed a coffee, headed to the site, and started their day. So while Edmonton wakes up, GS crews are already underground, quietly keeping things moving, upgrading, and laying the new underground infrastructure for our growing city. If you're the kind of person who goes to sleep with their steel-toed boots on, GS Construction wants to hear from you. We're looking for a maintenance foreman as well as a building and yard attendant. Visit gsconstruction.ca for more.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
Support your bones so you can stay active this summer. For the month of July, all CanPrev brand magnesium and collagen supplements are 15% off regular price. Only at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Everything is going to be okay. Any business, regardless of size, can stumble occasionally. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. If your business is facing financial challenges, our team of chartered insolvency and restructuring professionals have corporate debt recovery solutions that work. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. Chances of a positive outcome increase if you engage Faber sooner rather than later.
Grove Rotary Rib Fest is back July 10th to 12th with tasty ribs, live music, and family fun. Plus a live auction and 50-50 draw. Don't miss it. Brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires in Spruce Grove. Tickets on site or in advance at groverotary.ribfest.ca.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save on Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save on Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the 2 best names in the boots business.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden. Rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show. The best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Wow, everything is happening. Things we thought we might not see again, but we did. Vladimir Guerrero just hit a 2-run home run. What? Geez, things are going well for the Jays when even Vlad, he lifted the ball out of the infield. Amazing. Who knows? Maybe they just needed that new home run jacket and the staff or whatever the hell they have with it. But nonetheless, the Jays are up 9-0. But let's be real. The story of the game is Dylan Cease. He has a no-no through 8 innings. He's had 11 strikeouts thus far. He's got 115 pitches. And we'll see. Now, George Springer, he just hit one. It's 10-0. Holy cow. Route is on for the Jays. But Dylan Cease, now how about this? There's only 2 active pitchers who have pitched multiple no-hitters. Max Scherzer has 2. Justin Verlander has 3. Dylan Cease pitched a no-hitter on July 25th, 2024, when he was pitching with San Diego. And he also had a no-hitter with 2 outs that was stopped in 2022. So it's come close. Now, Donovan, did the guy who broke up his no-no in 2022, is he on the Giants today?
He is on the Giants today. That is Luis Arraez. So that's the story to look out for as well. Is can Luis Arraez kill him for a second time on his no-no?
That is wild, man. That in itself is wild. Also, I was looking up Tolbert, the guy who had 12 hits in a row. He actually got out in his last at bat last night because I was looking to see. But he's only actually played. I'm like, he's only had 48 at bats this year. He's got 19 hits. He's hitting .396. OPS of .976. Like, this was not expected for this guy to go 12 consecutive plate appearances and get a hit. So kudos to Tolbert. But yeah, you don't have to watch the KC game because they're not really that good. But he's been worth the price of admission. But we'll give you an update on the Jays as they get to the bottom of the ninth to see if Dylan Cease can get another no. Now, let's get to our roundtable. We'll have 3 thoughts, the 3-thought roundtable, and each guy brings up a topic, and then everybody else debates on it. So, Deck, actually, we'll let Donnie P go first today. Donnie, what are we discussing?
We're discussing kind of the best of the rest, the guys remaining left over in NHL free agency, but I also wanted to kind of take a gander at the trade market and some of the names out there as well. And there are 5 names that I am interested in that are kind of leftovers. Those guys are Anthony Mantha, Vladimir Tarasenko, and then on the trade market, Brian Rust, Rickard Raquel, and Owen Tippett. Now, obviously, Tippett would be a guy who that would depend on the offer sheet. And if the Ducks choose to match, I would presume then they might have to move on from Owen Tippett in Philly. But you've heard Raquel's name out there a lot. You've heard Rust's name out there a lot. And then Mantha and Tarasenko, like my thought process on those 2 guys is, what numbers would you guys be willing to accept the Oilers going and acquiring these players? Like, would you be willing to do like a 1-year, $2 million for a Tarasenko, or are you just totally out on this player? And for Mantha, like, what number constitutes that being the acquisition where you need to go get this guy? Because I think we all like the player, but what number do you like him at?
Okay, good question. For me, I'm not as high on Tarasenko as others. I don't know. I don't know. I look at it and say, okay, I could sign Tarasenko today, and it lowers my cap space and everything like that. And I guess I could still maybe go out at the deadline. I'm not sold that Tarasenko at this stage of his career is going to be that big of a difference maker. And I think Edmonton really needs, if the one thing they lack is like a real finisher. Now, he scored 23 goals last year. So there's not, hey, you're a 23 goal scorer, you're 23 goal scorer. And lots of his goals were 5-on-5, which of course is important. And, historically in the playoffs, he's been pretty good, right? Scores basically every year in the postseason for him. Obviously his best year was when they won the Cup with the Blues in 2019 when he had 11 goals in 26 games. But he's got 51 goals in 132 games. So decent production. I don't know why. I'm just not necessarily in love with the Tarasenko one. But if I was going to sign him, it'd be a 1-year deal, and I probably wouldn't go more than $3 million at the most.
I'd be on the same boat there. I'd be looking for like a 1 year, $3 million, 1 year, $2.5 million. Those are kind of the numbers that scream, this is a real value in my head. And I know a lot of people like to talk about, oh, well, if you're not giving the guy power play time, what is he going to produce? And he hit 5 power play goals last year, 18 at even strength. So to me, like, that's the key here, right? Is you're getting a player who can produce when he isn't getting those power play minutes. And you're getting a player who's shown you he can produce in the playoffs. He's got 2 Stanley Cups to his name. He's a player who, he's older, but he still is a productive player in limited minutes. So for a guy who played, right around 15 minutes a night last year, some nights over, some nights under, this is a player who I think can give you a little bang for your buck in a middle 6 type of role. And then to jump over to Mantha, this is the player who I'm still so curious on. Like, he's still out there, and I don't understand, like, what is his ask? Because you've talked about him being potentially the Jack Roslovic of this summer, right? And I think the longer it goes, the more likely you are to get him for, could you get this player for, not obviously, it's not going to be $1.5 million like Roslovic, but like, this was a 60-point player last year. The playoff production scares me, but can you get this player for, a 1 year, like $5 million deal?
See, it's funny because Jason ran the numbers yesterday on how many players in the league are making $5 million. I was actually thinking about this with the Tarasenko conversation. And I think, Jason, if I'm not mistaken, it was 250 players making $5 million in the NHL.
And that's just skaters.
That's just skaters.
There's a few goalies.
You work in positional value, of course, it's different, but there aren't 250 players getting 33 tucks. Or what did he? Was it 33?
23.
For Anthony Mantha?
Oh, Mantha. No, Mantha.
That's what I'm saying, right? So it's like, yes, it was a kind of I personally think it was a bit of a fool's gold resurgence with Anthony Mantha, but that is a really, really tough clip to hit. And if there's a team out there that feels like they're on the brink and they can get him some real time on a first power play unit, and he can. Do I think he's going to have another 33 goal season? Probably not. But I think that's a guy who could get 6+, like 6.25, even a little higher, even on a 1 year deal. And I say that with the, added kind of notion there that I do think it was a bit of a fool's gold season last season.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Dak. This is a player who's now granted,
33 goals is a lot, man. That's a lot of goals.
Is it fool's gold because of the injury history that is, that's a rap sheet a mile long in terms of the injury history. Some of them fluke, some of them not. I just, there's a reason he's not signed yet. And it's largely because of that, but also largely because of the lack of playoff production. Still no playoff goals to his name. So I just...
1 apple last year.
He's a scary player on both of those fronts. And so I understand why teams aren't willing to give him term. But what number do you consider giving him the 1 year deal on? That's the question.
Oh, for Mantha?
Yes.
I'm not going any higher than $3 million on a 1 year deal. I got Jack Roslovic for 1.5. The longer I wait, that's what I would do because I like Mantha. But clearly all the teams are feeling the same thing. Otherwise it would have been signed. Teams have cap space. Lots of teams have cap space and they're not doing it because 0 goals in 20 playoff games. I can't pay him more than that because I'm basically at this point until he shows it, I'm paying him to help me get to the playoffs, but not help me in the playoffs. And the Oilers want guys who help him in the playoffs.
To jump over to the trade side, I think we all agree Raquel and Rust, those are 2 quality options.
And there's the no-no's gone. A single up the middle to start the 9th inning. So there you go.
Elliot Ramos breaks up the Dylan Cease no-no. That's disappointing. Didn't even get to Luis Ariz. But to jump over to Rust and Raquel for a minute, are these players you have any interest in acquiring, or are these deadline deals for you? Like when do you consider these players?
Man, Brian Rust might be the least talked about consistent kind of, second line goal scorer in the NHL. Here's his last 8 years in the league in goals. 29 last year, 31, 28, 20, 24 in 60 games, 22 in the 56-game shortened season, 27 in 55 games. So every year, this guy, lock him in the last 8 years, is scoring at least 20, upwards of 31 goals. Right? He's a right shot. He's not the biggest guy, but he plays right. To me, he plays a similar style of Zach Hyman. Right? Just not as big as Zach Hyman is. But that guy, I think I would take Rust over Raquel. For me, their contracts are virtually identical, right? Are they not? They're both $5 million guys.
Yeah, they're five and change.
Yeah.
Right. It's very similar deals. I would take Rust over Raquel too. Both have had injuries in the past. Both have been kind of off the shelf at times. But yeah, these are both players who, given the price tags, I would acquire these players without a thought in my mind. It's just, what are the asks from Pittsburgh? We've heard they're a little ridiculous at times to acquire these players at the deadline last year. But if you're the Oilers, these are two players who, man, if you wait till the deadline, do you try and swoop these up? Because I think Pittsburgh they're in line for this regression season. I think everybody sees it.
I think those are two clear, obvious candidates at the deadline. Deck, what's your topic?
All right, I'll make mine quick here. It's kind of a take I've been squatting on for a little while. It's not, necessarily relevant or pertinent per se, but it is the summer. So one thing I've always kind of thought is that it essentially, like, if Nikita Kucherov or Nathan MacKinnon had their careers happen here, like had their entire careers play out in Edmonton, and Connor McDavid's had his play out in Colorado or Tampa, Oilers fans would be pushing the narrative that McKinnon or Kucherov would be better than Connor McDavid. And I have the other thing is I started to run some numbers because Lotad was really pushing a voter fatigue narrative on Connor McDavid not winning the Hart anymore. I ran a bunch of different stuff. Since 23-24, these guys are neck and neck. And I have like 27 different statistical categories. I'm not going to go over them. I have nine more regarding goal for percentages and stuff. But like, these are for the last 3 seasons, these are some neck and neck level players.
Oh yeah, for the last 3 years, but that's not a career. We're talking career numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Connor McDavid's played the fewest games and has the most points. He's played 794 games. He has 1,220 points. Nathan MacKinnon has played 950 games. He has 1,142 points. And Kucherov has played 879 and he has 1,124. I think in Edmonton, voter fatigue is just a lame way of not admitting that other guys are having good seasons. There was no reason McDavid was going to win the Hart this year. None. Zilch. Zero. I'm sorry. It wasn't. Like, you can't be a plus 10 player and win the Hart when you lead in scoring. I'm sorry. It wasn't good enough. Right? So, but if anybody tried to tell you that if McKinnon or Kucherov played here that they're better than McDavid, they're fooling themselves. Because I look at the entire career. And the last 3 years, those three have been pretty even. No question about it. But career-wise, it's not close. Career-wise, McDavid's at 1.54 points per game. Kucherov's 1.28. McKinnon's 1.2.
Well, and my thing, like the overarching kind of sentiment to this point is I think Oilers fans in this scenario would use cup wins as kind of the tiebreaker or the, well, hey, like,
but if McKinnon and Kucherov were in Edmonton, they weren't winning the cup.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, their entire careers, when you look at trophy case points, et cetera, has played out here the way it has. So I'm saying, like, in this scenario, Kuch still has the 2 cups. He still came in missed the season, came in that playoffs. He still has the 2 Harts.
So he would have won cups here?
Yes,
would
I'm
he be
saying,
better?
like, their entire career as it stands statistically has played out just in Edmonton instead, and Connor's in Colorado or Tampa.
Well, I can't speak for fans, but I would say this. I don't believe that Stanley Cups are individual awards. Teams win cups. And so if when McKinnon won his cup, if all the same players were on Colorado except McKinnon or McDavid, they were swapped out, I still believe Colorado wins the cup. If Tampa Bay, when they won cups, you put Kucherov, McDavid. Now, it's a little different there because it's a winger versus a center iceman. But when I look at their team, I look at their goaltender, and I look at their defense, I think they probably win. I don't really like individuals. I don't look and say, well, these guys are close, but this guy won a cup and this guy didn't. Well, playing on a better team doesn't make you a better player. It just means you played on a better team. So for me, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, for me, it doesn't matter either, Deck.
Really?
I'm
surprised. I thought one of you guys would be on my side.
See, as much as I like all three players, just
for the record, also, like, I do very much believe Connor McDavid is the best player of the three. This is clearly for argumentative sake.
Like, maybe would some fans, like, I think you'd have the radical portion of any fan base try and stand up for their player in these hypothetical situations. But I feel like the vast majority of fans just recognize, regardless of what fan base you are part of, that Connor McDavid is the undisputed best player in the game. I know there was that shoehorned in conversation of, oh, has Connor McDavid been surpassed as the best player in the game, last season or even the season before? And to me, it's just always been so stupid because, like, you look at the sample size of the career as Greg's outlined, and there's really kind of no debate here. All three players are terrific. They all do their own separate things, but no, I mean, outside of the radical, nut jobs that make up some of Twitter, I just, no, I gotta be
they're
out
loud
with you.
on there. I'll
They
tell
are
you, man,
loud.
They're loud on there.
They're only loud if you listen to them.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. You can just block them.
Not even blocking.
Or
You
just mute them.
Yeah, or just like read it by and be like, and it just went in one side of my eye and went out the other one. Because yes. But hey, it's an interesting discussion. But I will, like, in the regular season, the last 3 years, their points productions have been very similar. Right? Kucherov 395, McKinnon 383, McDavid 370. McDavid's played the fewest game. Their points per game is 1.59 for McKinnon, 1.64 for McDavid, 1.68 for Kucherov. So regular season's good. But then if you add in their playoffs the last 3 years, it's not close. McDavid obviously has 81 points in 53 games. McKinnon has 40 points in 31 games. And you have to go down quite a ways because Tampa Bay in the last 3 years hasn't won a playoff round. Kucherov has only 17 points and 1 goal in his last 17 playoff games. So, now, is 17 games a big enough sample size to look at anything? No, but it's fair to say that in the last 3 years, a big reason why Tampa Bay hasn't got out of the first round is because Kucherov can't score. Right? Like he's got 1 goal in that time. Now, in the regular season, he's got 125 goals, which is more than anybody on Tampa Bay. So, like, you think about it. If your best goal scorer suddenly doesn't score, it's really hard to win. That's just a fact. I don't care who your goalie is. I don't care who your defense is. It's just how it is. So, it's funny. Last 3 regular season, Kucherov's good. Last 3 playoffs, not good. Good topic, boys. Let's take a quick break. We will return. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Jason Strudwick joins us next.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show presents Strut Zone.
Performance by Edmonton Electrical today. Their project team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order noodle at noodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order noodle at noodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order noodle.ca. Noodle.
Support your bones so you can stay active this summer. For the month of July, all CanPrev brand magnesium and collagen supplements are 15% off regular price. Only at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Think a quality golf cart is out of your budget? Think again. At the Golf Cart People, we have a fantastic selection of fully inspected, pre-owned carts starting at just $4,500. Choose from gas, electric, or lithium-ion power to fit your lifestyle. And the best part, every used cart comes with a 1-year warranty for total peace of mind. Why wait? Get the cart you've always wanted today. Visit the Golf Cart People. Find out more at golfcartpeople.com.
Are you a skilled laborer? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you. A heavy equipment operator with track hoe or backhoe experience? All-Star Construction wants to talk to you, too. With work in and around Edmonton for local land developers, All-Star Construction offers year-round employment. Whether it's power, gas, or telecom, developers rely on All-Star Construction to get the job done. So if you're a skilled laborer or a heavy equipment operator with track hoe or backhoe experience searching for work, search All-Star Construction on Indeed.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Druid Irish Pub. Edmonton's favorite soccer home, the Druid Irish Pub is back in the Ice District across from Rogers Place. Watch all the games with 650 Heineken only at the Druid Irish Pub.
He's not just another pair of glasses. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for checking out Edmonton Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.425 as we continue on. Wednesday afternoon, a little fun matinee game for the Toronto Blue Jays. They get a big, another offensive outburst. Now, granted, it's against the Giants, but hey, maybe at some point it gets going, but we'll get into why I wouldn't hold my breath just yet. But Dylan Cease, 8 masterful innings, no-hit ball, 11 Ks, and then his no-hitter was broken up in the top of the ninth, or bottom of the ninth inning, excuse me. And the Jays win 10-0. So they get out of San Francisco with 2 wins to win the series. Now they have a day off, and then they will continue on into San Diego for the weekend before the All-Star break. Now let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice Center. And hey, they're going to have a big name, Gene Simmons. The Gene Simmons Band in concert in a very unique venue. So you can get your tickets, silenticecenter.com.
The Jason Gregor Show presents Struds On.
So it's the memories. That's what you remember. Memories. It's a bouquet of enjoyment coming in my mouth there. Well, it's like I always say, HK, who cares?
It's time for Struds On.
Struddy, how you doing?
Good. I'm happy the Jays got a win, but it's been a downer watching this team strut the last, I don't know, what do you want to say, the last month?
Dude, you know what I think of when I've been watching Vladdy Guerrero for the last month? I think of, like, because you watched him, right? And you see, and he just pounding balls, can't get out of the infield.
Yeah.
Just reminds me of a Jason Strudwick in the home run competition. But you at least got under them struds. They were infield flies. At least you weren't just pounding them into the dirt, but they were going about the same distance as most of his infield dribblers have been here the last month.
It's funny because I've heard you talk about him before, and I have been watching him and listening, and you try to look at it and try to think about what's going on. So you read different articles, and it just looks, he has no confidence. He looks so little at the plate. Like when you look at last year, and in the playoffs, he looked like he was, Frank Thomas, a monster. Now he looks so little, and he just looks like he doesn't want to be out there, right? Because and that's how you feel as an athlete when you're not feeling good. You look like you want to be anywhere other than there. And compare that to what we saw in the playoffs last year. So I'm sure some of it is mechanics, but I bet you quite a bit is just how he's feeling about himself when he steps up to that plate.
Oh God, yeah, no question about it. It's there's no way he's feeling awesome about it. Like you see, and he's trying not to have I'd like to see him snap, pull a Bo Jackson, man, break the bat over his knee, something. I know that showing emotion doesn't mean you care more. I get it, but maybe you can release some of the anger. But either way, Dylan Cease, great game, big game for the Jays. Okamoto, another home run, a grand slam, and who knows, maybe they get their offense going after they couldn't even get a hit. They score 19 runs here in the last 2 days, so good for them. Struddy, the Utah Mammoth match and offer sheet, which I thought was that one's a pretty easy match. The Ducks one is different because it's so much, and I understand you don't want to lose the player, but all the stories coming out here, it's almost like the Ducks felt like, oh, we'll match any offer sheet because they never thought someone would offer him this much. Yeah. And it's almost like Philadelphia and these other teams said, we'll call your bluff.
Well, I think the problem is that Philadelphia has now made it rather uncomfortable for them when they go to every meeting, because they not only have made it uncomfortable for the Ducks, but they've made it uncomfortable for every team now. With just, they jumped that up so much. I mean, that's an extra $5 to $6 million a year that he's making per year, and that's a lot of money. You don't think other guys are looking at that? It's going to be tough for him to live up to that contract. I don't think he probably will. But what I at first I thought there's no way they don't match it. They will match it for sure, because he is trending in the right direction. He is a number one centerman. They don't grow on trees. Like I have him as maybe not right now, but I think he's going to be better than Dylan Larkin. And there are some suggesting that, we'll trade for Dylan Larkin. Well, I don't think you're as good with Dylan Larkin as your 1C as with this guy.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm thinking, it does upset your whole salary structure. So do you want to do that? Do you want to screw it all up? But if you don't, now you're out there looking for a number 1C, which you don't have. And then so it's a really tough spot. I still think they are going to match it. Now, you might be hearing different things in your channels, but that's just my gut. And when I look at it, but for Philadelphia, man, I don't think they've made a lot of friends, but I guess that's the point. If Vegas doesn't care what people think, why should Philly, the city of brotherly love?
Yeah. Well, they shouldn't. Honestly, they didn't do anything illegal. They didn't do anything immoral.
Right.
Everything's within the rules. And if the goal is to win here, not everybody should, like I said, hey, if Pat Verbeek and Danny Briere at the next GM meeting are pissed, but even Pat Verbeek can be like, well, I don't like it, but I can't be mad at him because A, I let it get to this position. B, it's within the rules. And Philly wasn't the only team starting. Three other teams put an offer sheet in. Theirs was just the highest.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. I don't think, for me, it's not the offer sheeting that makes it uncomfortable. I think it's the number, like that number, 18 million, $1 million clear of every other player in the NHL. And I believe the guy who was at 17 is overpaid, in my opinion. So, you're way, way up there. And, I know that Bedard now is out, which I feel sick for him, but at least sounds like he's going to get it fixed up. But you look around, some of these teams are like, oh man, it is changing. So, maybe the lesson in the Oilers, they had some of this lesson. You don't let those guys get to this point where they can get offer sheeted. You got to try to lock them down sooner. And maybe that also escalates salaries, because players are like, well, if I wait till offer sheet, maybe an offer sheet come in. So this has opened a new door into different ways of looking at it, and aggressively challenging another team's franchise like the Ducks have been.
Yes. The Ducks, though, like, it changes everything for their organization, right? And they already did, like, the Minchikov contract study, like $7.2 million for him. He's like a 22-point defenseman. And I'm just, that one, like, I look at Brant Clark's numbers and these other guys, I'm like, why is Minchikov even in the same ballpark? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So, last year the Ducks had a great thing going on, right? They had really good young players on cheap deals, and they had veterans on expiring deals, and they had the right mix, and they had a good year. Are they as good this year as they are last year? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be, especially depends on what happens with Leo Carlsson, because of the fact that now some of these guys, and we haven't even talked about Gauthier signing a contract, and he's probably watching very intently what happens with Leo Carlsson. But you're not going to have Carlsson, the D-man. You're not going to have Gudas, the D-man. You're not going to have Trouba, the D-man. There's going to be other guys that are gone, and now your team isn't as good. It's just not as good. So, eventually you have to pay these guys, and it gets harder to squeeze all that extra talent like they had last year in there.
Yeah. Jason Strudwick joins us. Struddy, the Oilers roster right now, they've got cap space for the first time in forever. They've got Colton Dock, the only guy who's unsigned, and my understanding is the conversations have been very pleasant, and there's probably going to be a deal done here very quickly in around the range of like 1.2 to 1.4, somewhere around there for a two-year deal. I would think for him, would you go after like Tarasenko or Mantha or anyone else, or would you hold your cap space until into the season?
What I'm doing is I'm going to be very opportunistic. Right. I don't know that cap space is an issue from these players, but maybe they're looking for opportunity and or long-term deals. You talk about Mant, they talk about Tarasenko, these types of guys. I'd say, listen, I'm interested, but come back to me in a month. Let's just see where things are at. And not that you want to make them sweat, but you have to look after your organization, right? You want to make it and then see what you can do, because Jack Roslovic was a really good deal at $1.5 million.
Yeah.
At $4 million. I'm not sure Toronto's going to get what they want out of him. We know what he is. He's an offensive guy that, doesn't play quite as much juice in his own zone. But that was a great deal. So can you find that again? Because I do think you want to be patient and use some of that cap space over the course of the year. And kind of see, like, Ike Howard to me is a massive wild card. I have no idea. Can he take a step? Doesn't mean he's going to go all the way to top line, but can he take a step? I hope he can. I hope he's working on some quickness and working on his wall play, all that kind of stuff. And you can do that over the course of a summer and over the year, last year. So I would probably be more interested in just being patient and seeing Montreal. The team's a playoff team. They're obviously going to have a kind of a refocus, which was needed, a new coach, and that makes people uncomfortable. So for all those reasons, I think there'll be a playoff team, but wait to see what happens, because I don't know about you guys. I think they're carrying 3 goalies. So if you're carrying 3 goalies, you only have 2 extra players, 1 forward, 1 D. You don't have that much extra room for guys.
Oh yeah, you're only going to have a 7th defenseman and a 13th forward. I guess you could go right. 8 and 12, and you could do it. I just I look at their blue line study, and to me, like, the top 5 guys are pretty easy. I don't care where you play them, but Bouchard and Murphy are your top 2 righties, and then you've got Ekholm, Wallman, and Shea as your lefties. I have Emberson as a righty, and then I've got Bakhmadulin as a lefty who can play the right side. Those are your 7 for me. Like Spencer Stastny doesn't really do anything for me. I was actually surprised he got $1.5 million, to be honest, because I don't really know what he does. And part of me wonders if the reason the owners gave him a 1.5 was because they felt like that might be high enough so teams won't claim him. So they'll put him in the minors. They'll have a small cap hit, but they'll have depth in case of injury.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point. It's good insight. And I do think, though, that they're really set with defensive depth right now. And I think that's nice, because then you don't have to go and make trades for those things in at the end of the year. Because even, Josh Brown's another guy. I don't know how much you want him playing in the playoffs if you get to that, but, he might be your 9. So you have quite a bit of depth in that spot, which is really good. That means you don't have to make those trades for those D-men. You can focus on, hopefully, a forward and not have to worry about the D and the goalies, because you have 3 goalies and then a couple guys in the minors that who knows where they're going to go. So there's depth back there. You can focus up front. But I think your laying out of the D is where it's at. I think those 5 will play, and then they'll want the young player from San Jose playing some games, and that's unfortunate for Emerson because he doesn't deserve to probably not be playing.
Yeah, I think like Emerson, I thought had a pretty solid season, but I know how it works. Mock Doolin was acquired from Nurse. He's a little bit bigger, a little bit younger, but like doesn't have a ton of experience. The one advantage you might have those is he can play all 4 preseason games if they want to. Emerson can only play in 2 now. That's just the new rule, right? Anybody with 100 NHL games. And I want to get your thought. Like, I think the preseason games will be a little bit better paced simply because most vets, they're like, well, I want to play at least 2 games, right? Yeah. Most guys are going to want to play 2 games. So, your young guys, you're probably going to cut down your training camp fairly quickly. And the truth of the matter is, I know some people don't like it for bubble guys. There might be at any point in your organization 5 guys in the American League who have a chance, and then none of them are locks to make your NHL team. So I don't think that, moving it down. It's not like the Oilers have any top picks that they want to get in games. So they're probably in a good position here. But on that defense, if you're Mock Doolin or Emerson, how do you view that battle head up?
Well, you got to come in and you can't mess around. Now, listen, they're both going to be on the team. And I've told you before, I think 2 games is all I needed to get myself going. Like you come in shape, one game, you kind of work a little rust off, the second you're in the regular routine and you start. But the reality is, let's say Mac Doolin has the best preseason of all time. It doesn't mean he's playing 84 games next year. There'll be a rotation, right? There'll be guys coming in, coming out. And that's unfortunate, but they need depth. With 84 games, you need depth. You're not going to play 6 guys the whole time. You might play 8, maybe 9 D-men, over the course of the year because of that. And same with the goaltenders. No one's just playing 2 goalies. You're going to have probably some rotation through there. So you want to come out, you want to put your best foot forward for sure, especially with a new coach to kind of get like, hey, this is my guy. But for that 6th spot, buddy, it doesn't matter. They're both going to play games. And that, unfortunately, like Emerson deserves better, but what you deserve and what you get are unfortunately always the right thing.
The Edmonton Elks are 3-1, and I think they're deserving of that record. They played quite well. The BC game, BC was a better team. They really won the line of scrimmage battle. And if the Elks go 4-1, would that be enough to coax Elkman out of retirement?
Yeah, it might be time. I might be time to come out. I had the rack out the other day, looking at it, admiring the big rack. And it might be time on a nice summer day, but maybe I have to wait when we get to cold sort of playoffs too. I mean, this team, you can tell there's belief in there. And as I watched that game, you could tell they were genuinely frustrated with how they played. They weren't beat. They were frustrated with the way it went. And I think that's a sign of a team that believes in themselves. So who do they play tomorrow night, right? Ottawa?
Tomorrow night, Ottawa. Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, not the best team. So they should come out 4-1, especially a little pissed off, a bit of a shorter week, but whatever. Every team has to go for it or go through it. But I like the belief I'm starting to see in this team and in themselves. And I think that is important, and also to establish a reputation with your peers, the other teams.
Struddy, who is your World Cup winner now?
Oh, man, these games have been insane. How about that Argentina game? Like that was incredible. Like, I tell you, it's a little bit like the Olympics. I'm getting into soccer every 4 years. But you know what? I'm going to put France. I think they just have so much depth. So I don't know. Who have you got there?
Yeah, well, France is – I'm going to go with someone other than France just because everybody's picking France.
Yeah.
And I would like – the team I'd like to win isn't going to win in Belgium, but I will say Argentina.
I hope so. Or Norway. Those fans.
Well, Norway would be unreal. Fun. Yeah, yeah.
That's who they play England on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
So that should be a good battle.
Oh.
2 European battles going at it. Because I think there's 6 teams from Europe still in there. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they've been pretty good in this one. So, Struddy, have yourself a great one. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Thanks, buddy. Talk to you then.
That's Jason Strudwick joins us here on Sports 1440. Quick break. We'll come back. We got 5 questions and more. It's a Jason Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Support your bones so you can stay active this summer. For the month of July, all CanPrev brand magnesium and collagen supplements are 15% off regular price. Only at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Boxing Week is back at the Brick. Don't wait until winter. Get blowout pricing now. Save 50% off sofas when you buy the matching piece. Save up to 25% off bedroom and dining, and save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get free local delivery when you use your Flexity card. And buy more, save more. Up to $500 off select major appliances. Don't miss the return of Boxing Week, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in-store for details.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu.
The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. Wait, I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me. Whew, what a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
Pro sports, local sports, minor leagues, you got it all. It's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Unlucky. Number 13, Dylan Cease. This was the 13th time a Blue Jay pitcher has lost a no-hitter in the ninth inning. Dave Stieb, 3 times. And one was a perfect game with 2 outs. Brutal. But Dylan Cease, still an excellent performance from him. The Jays bats woke up early, and they cruised to a 10-0 win in San Francisco. Cease has struck out at least 7 batters and allowing 4 or fewer hits in each of his last 9 starts. That's the longest streak by any major league pitcher in the modern era. So Dylan Cease is rolling right now. The only thing that gets him in trouble a little bit is his walks every now and then. But man, he's almost, well, he's not being unhittable, but he's been pretty damn close, not giving up a whole bunch at all. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. Saving you more on furniture, mattresses, appliances, big screen TVs, and more. The Boxing Week sale, you got one more day to get in on fantastic deals, 40% off, 50% off, bedroom furniture, couches, sofas, and more. It's thebrickandthebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
Okay, question number 1. The Wimbledon semifinals are set. Who are you predicting to win the men's and the women's singles titles?
Go ahead.
Men's low-hanging fruit, but I think I got to go with Jannik Sinner with Carlos's injury. He's the best male tennis player in the world today. That Novak match, I think, is going to be a lot of fun. On the women's side, Coco Gauff, I think, is the obvious choice. I think it would probably her. But Marta Kostic, the Ukrainian, she's had a really, really good 26. I think she'll beat Noskova. I think she'll be in the final. But I will go with Coco Gauff.
Coco. Ooh, all right. And what about on the men?
Yeah, Jannik Sinner. I think he gets it. He's just too good. It's one of those ones. He's just too good.
Yeah, I know it's boring.
Yeah,
so
lame
to go with him, but if you're asking, like, why would I pick someone else? So I will. Coco Gauff's a good one. She is she's what, 7th seed, and I think she's the highest seed left. I'm gonna go with Noskova. She's been playing pretty good.
No, she has. Question number 2. The New York Islanders are having a design a jersey contest for their 27-28 alternate jerseys. If you could design any jersey for any pro sports team, what would it look like?
I was talking to Tommy because he's Tommy Gazzola, our new morning show host. He's like the resident jersey guy. He's in on it, and he thinks the Oilers are going to have like a Flint, in Will Ferrell, that what was it, Tropical Flint, whatever the name of their team was. Yeah, the Tropics. And so he thinks they might have a theme similar to that. So if I was designing a jersey for any pro team, oh God, like, dude, I can't. I got no artistic ability. It's brutal. So I just like simple. I like the lettering diagonal down the front of a jersey. Nothing special. I know that's extremely boring because I can't draw. So how the hell could I design something? And I'm not using AI. No, not using any of that slop. No thanks. So I would just go straight across, and I would go with which team? The Knicks. And I might have a bigger K and then just go down to the NICKS.
Question number 3. Justin Verlander set to retire at the end of this season. Obviously, it's such a sport of history. It's a little tough to qualify when you look at all the great pitchers of the last, however long the MLB's been going on. But that being said, where does he rank for you in terms of all-time pitchers? Or, if you want to do pitchers of the last 50, 75 years?
Well, he's obviously, what is he? I think right now he's like tied for like 30-something for wins. But wins are one thing because you still got to be in a good team, no question, right? And nowadays guys get pulled out, but he's been unreal. I mean, pitching since what, 2005? I think it is. Is that when he first started? And now that might have been late in that year, so maybe his first full season was 2006. But like that guy was unreal right from the get-go. Like his first full season in the majors, he was awesome, and he's basically continued it that way. So I think amongst pitchers now, because wins and strikeouts and all that, he would where would I put him? I guess he probably is around like top 25 pitchers of all time. That's probably where I put him.
Question number 4.
Where would you put him?
I mean, I just don't know baseball well enough to really talk about it with any accuracy, but top 25 certainly seems right.
Like, I know, like, if you look at strikeouts, he's top 10. So maybe my 25 is actually not high enough now that I think about it. So, because I think he's 8th in Ks. So now, obviously, he's been able to have the ability to pitch for a long time. That helps for your strikeouts, no question, right? But if you look at it, like his innings pitched is actually way lower than a lot of the other strikeouts. Leaders. Like he's almost a strikeout. I pulled it up. He's almost a strikeout per inning pitched. He's got 3,554 strikeouts, and he's pitched 3,571 innings. Like Don Sutton has 21 more strikeouts than him, but he's pitched 1,700 more innings. So, yeah, I think I'm way low on Verlander. He's probably top 10.
All right. Question number 4. If you could bring back one player from the 2024 Edmonton Oilers Cup Run team and drop them on this current roster, who would it be?
Wow. 2024. At his 2024 cap hit, or is his cap hit now?
Yeah, we'll say the 2024 cap.
Oh, then Vinny DeHarnay.
Okay.
He fills in. He's a cheap contract. Fills in a penalty kill role for your team. So yeah, I would take.
And question number 5 today on Fantasy Frenzy, we had a lengthy discussion about the fact that Brandon said he could get a hit off a major league pitcher if given 100 at bats. I think it originally started at 100 pitches. It became 100 at bats. I think that's like insane because I actually think that's the toughest thing to do in pro sports. So as a 2-parter, could he do it?
No.
And 2, what is the hardest thing to do in pro sports?
Dude, you know what? It's too bad that he faked his leg injury this summer because I'd actually had it because I heard him talk about this once before. And so what I did, I actually had it set up that he was going to go down to the Cracker Cats. And we were going to give him now it wouldn't be 100 at bats because first of all that would take too long. Like when you're given 100 at bats, first of all, after like how many at bats in a day is he going to get? He's be dead tired, so there's no chance. But I was even going to give him off of one of the Riverhawks guys to see if he can get contact, right? And I'm not like a real hit, not contact where it's a dribbler down the second, to second base or first base line, but 0 chance he would get a hit off a major league pitcher. Like, get the hell out of here.
That's my thing because we were talking about, and we actually did mention that challenge that came up as well. His thing is kind of, he's just going to wait them out, get tired. Because if you throw 300 pitches, you're going to be throwing like 60 by the end of it. But I'm like, well, that's kind of like disingenuous to the point of the challenge. And then the other thing is like,
whoa. So his argument was, well, I'm just going to stand there and not swing.
That was part of it.
Well, first of all, so if he gets 100 at bats, so even if it's 3 strikes each one, still, well, that's first of all, that's the dumbest thing ever. And I still don't think he could hit him. They just start throwing curveballs.
I agree, and it's like, I mean, there's so much that goes into this. We could talk, but I
like what did he play in the Penal League up in Delburn? Like,
yeah, he played, and I asked him,
I
was like, what's the fastest pitch you ever saw? And he's like, I saw 70, and I was like, well, it's a little bit faster than that in the majors. I just like the other thing was like the biggest thing was making contact is one, whatever you bind, like whatever. But he thinks but like he thinks with an infield defense, he can get a hit. And I think that's where he really loses me.
Come on. Brando.
I love him to death.
I'm a big believer in having self-belief, but sometimes you have to have self-awareness at the same time. And there's no chance. Like saying the pitcher is going to get tired. So you're not going to get tired? Like something tells you the pitcher might be in a little bit better conditioning. Just saying. So yeah, 0 chance. What's the hardest thing to do in pro sports? Honestly, I think I think the hardest thing to do right now in pro sports is, well, to run a 2-hour marathon, without question. What's harder than that?
Yeah, I didn't even really think of that because it's been done literally twice. I guess 3 times.
But it's been done.
Yes,
I don't care. 2 hours and 10 minutes. I'll give you 10-minute grace period.
I would say that would be probably the correct answer.
Yeah,
I didn't think of, the one that came to mind for me would be like winning a point off like a Yannick Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz, something like that, or even returning their serve. But honestly, I think you objectively just answered it. Like I think that is the correct answer. So I'll roll with that from now on.
Because there's lots of guys in the tennis world who get points off of Sinner. Right, like we're talking everybody else. The greatest runners in the marathon world can't get the marathon in 2 hours, except like 2 people, and it is incredible. Like, so you basically, I did the math on it. You are running 100 meters in 15 seconds, and you're keeping that pace. Now we get our listeners out here to say, okay, could you run 100 meters in 15 seconds? You might be able to do it once. Could you do it again, and then do it again, and again, and again? For 26.2 miles? Clearly no. So no, I think that's the hardest one. That like we probably put in one of those long distance swim races, like something that's you got to be fast and at a high level for a long time. It's just harder. Like it's harder to do. Oh no, by the way, we really haven't talked about what about Summer McIntosh breaking the record earlier this week in the pool. A record that a lot of people was like the hardest one to break, right? And it was and she kind of did it when she's sick because it was a 17-year-old record in the 200-meter butterfly, which is a hard race, number one. And lots of the records have been broken recently. And I get it that training and everything else. And now they look at how they make the pools with the wave currents underneath. So there's less drag, all those sorts of things. And no one could break that record until she finally did. So kudos to Summer, because that is a hell of an accomplishment. And she probably wasn't 100%, considering that she pulled out a few of the swimmers pulled out due to some illness. But yeah, man, running a marathon, like, it'd be like right now, how many people listening could run a 400 meter in a minute? Just think about how tired you would be to do a 400 meter in a minute. And then you got to keep that pace for 2 hours. Like, it's so ridiculously hard. It's crazy for me. Crazy. So there you go. Let's take a quick break. Let's get to Declan Kruger and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. It's not that hard right now to get a great deal at Northgate, because you can get employee pricing for the month of July. Check it out, northgategm.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
Toronto Blue Jays walking away victorious early today as they beat the Giants 10-0 games right now. So the Astros and Nats tied 0-0, as are the Mariners and the Marlins, and the Cubbies and the Orioles. Wimbledon finals from earlier today saw Sasha Zverev and Arthur Ferry winning their quarterfinal matchups in straight sets. In the women's quarters, it was Linda Noskova and Marta Kosta getting by in their matches. News from the sporting world: Connor Bedard with a shoulder injury set to miss 4 months following his surgery. As heard on the show earlier today, Utah Mammoth have matched Bear Hayden's offer sheet from the Devils, will not be able to trade the pending UFA. And Daniel Alfredson confirms he did in fact interview for the Maple Leafs head coaching job. Elsewhere, decorated Canadian swimmer Kylie Massey has committed to the 2028 Olympics after a 6-month reset from the sport. And Jake Dolegala has been named the starter for the Hamilton Tiger Cats in their Week 6 matchup versus the Rough Riders. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta-exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Rangeroni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you.
Call Legacy.
Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with a heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit, no credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save on Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save on Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business. Question: what do you do with your metal?
Lawn ornaments.
Statues.
I made this hat for Kitty, but it's a little heavy. Sorry, Mr. Fluffles.
At Metal Supermarkets, they encourage you to submit your creations to the Metal My Way Gallery today. You can win some great prizes. Go to metalmyway.com, a celebration of metal mastery. Proudly sponsored by Metal Supermarkets, the local convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Peace.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Big jobs, tight spaces, serious reliability. Emerald Equipment is now your local Yanmar dealer. Compact track loaders, mini excavators, wheel loaders, tough, reliable machines built for any job. JapaMachinery.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Just after 5 o'clock. How you doing? Gregor, Kruger, Paulson with you on a lovely Wednesday afternoon. Of course, World Cup, a few days off, and then they will get into the quarter final starting tomorrow, France and Morocco. Then Friday, Spain, Belgium. Saturday has 2 games, Switzerland, Colombia. Or no, what am I saying? Switzerland, Colombia. Switzerland will be playing against Argentina, and it'll be Norway against England. And then the semifinals are next Tuesday, Wednesday, and the final goes on Saturday, the 18th. So a little bit of a scheduling advantage for France, Morocco, Spain, and Belgium, because they would have 1 extra day's rest. I don't know if it's a massive one, but it be a small one, because one of those 4 teams will be getting through on that Tuesday semifinal. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It's a Gregor Show. It's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website, where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province. PlayAlberta.ca. As it's time for the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, and they are hiring operators, pipe layers, top men, and more. Go to gsconstruction.ca and look up careers. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sports joins us. Spec, good afternoon. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Beautiful day. Lots going on.
Oh yeah, I know. As a former pitcher, were you watching Dylan Cease try for his second no-hitter?
No, but I was listening to your show. I got in the car and I turned you on, and then the first thing you said was, hey, Dylan Cease is taking a no-hitter in the ninth, so I turned you off and I found the game on my phone and listened to it instead of your show. And I heard the first guy up in the ninth drops one into center field, and then I went back and listened to some more of your show.
It's all good, but I didn't know hitters don't happen, but they've only ever happened once in Jay's history. The 13th time, however, they've had a pitcher enter the ninth with a no-no and got broken up. So
Dave Steve was the one that did the most of those, right? He had like 2 or 3 of those. He just couldn't. What was the name of his book? Tomorrow I'll Be Perfect.
Yeah, well, he did pitch a no-hitter in September of 1990, and then he had 2 other no-hitters broken up with 2 outs in the ninth, and he had a perfect game broken up with 2 outs in the ninth.
Oh, 3 times with 2 outs in the ninth, and they get you. Isn't that? Like, what does a guy have to do to deserve that? Come on, that's just sad. So I didn't see any of Dylan Cease today, so don't ask me what he looked like, but I did listen to the end of it, and I was excited for him. Who doesn't love a no-hitter? The no-hitter is one of the weird things in sports where by the end of the game, all the fans on the other team, like anyone left at whatever we're calling Candlestick Park these days, it's in San Francisco. Anyone left there stayed for one reason. It's 10-0. Their team's getting trounced. They're all cheering for the other guy to get their team out. Like, it's a unique, right? It's a unique moment in sports.
Yeah. Oh, it like you watch them, like they're getting crushed in the game 10-0, but man, the hitter was fist pumping to break up the no-hitter. Like, it gets pretty competitive. And I get it. I understand it. Hey, we can't win the game, but let's at least not let him give us a no-no. So I understand that. Specca, you look at, we were talking about it, about the orders, and do you think they need to get a scoring winger, either via trade or a late free agent signing now, or do they wait until during the season for a trade?
I think that they can. I think they have enough of a team here to hang around in the season. First of all, they're not in a really strong division. So I think with the lineup they have right now, with a team that says, okay, we're going to pay attention this regular season because we didn't last regular season, with a new coach who is, by all accounts, ready to install a more tougher defensive system and have everybody here paying a little higher attention to keeping the puck out of their net, with better goaltending, with a pretty decent blue line here. With all of those things, Jay, I think they have enough roster right now to get them well into the season and even to the trade deadline and still be very competitive in terms of winning the Pacific. Like, I think that, and then at the deadline, now you can go to town and bring in 2 guys with all the cap space you have. What do you think?
Yeah, I look at it, and everything depends on the price point, right? If I can get Tarasenko on a Roslovic type contract, and I know the cap's gone up, so it's, this year it might be 2.5 instead of 1.5. I'd consider it, because then I'd still have some cap space at the deadline, right? Similar to Mantha, although Mantha's lack of playoff production gives me pause for sure, and I think that might be a reason why teams haven't signed him yet. So, we'll see. Maybe some teams are still waiting. There's tons of cap space left there, but I just look at it, and we're seeing more teams willing to trade guys. Like, if I could get Brian Rust at the deadline, I would take him over both of those guys. And I get Brian Rust for 2 years. Brian Rust has been extremely consistent, and I love how he plays. You know what? He's played in the playoffs. He knows how to compete, all those sorts of things. This guy can score goals, but I like how he scores goals. So Brian Rust or even Raquel, both of those guys are $5 million players, Spec, and you could get them for 2 playoff runs. So that's something that I probably would strongly consider more. And I'm not sold on the Penguins. Now, they surprised me last year. I didn't think they were going to be a playoff team last year, so I could be wrong again. But I would be willing to wager and say, okay, let's see if Pittsburgh's out of it. And if they are, then we can make a deal with them. And if not, there's going to be some other good teams that we think are going to be in now, Spec, but they're not going to be in come February. And then they might be willing to trade guys.
There's always guys open in March that you didn't have a chance at in the summertime, right? There's always guys. Just first of all, go on to, Puckpedia and look at all the guys who are going to be UFAs after this season. Any of those guys whose teams aren't making the playoffs, they're available. I looked last year at a team like Washington, Washington was supposed to be a playoff team. Remember 2 years ago, Carberry won the Jack Adams. They were really good. They had they had done a retool. They had the Protus brothers. They were looking so good. They made the playoffs. And then last year they didn't make playoffs, and they surprised everybody. And last year Pittsburgh made the playoffs and surprised everybody. So my point is this: every year there's 4 teams out there at least who mapped out a season in which they would make the playoffs. And now the deadline comes and they ain't making the playoffs, and it is the for sale sign goes up. So that's why I like my theory: hang on till the deadline, and with the cap space the Oilers have, I mean, they could get a top 3 defenseman and a top line winger with the cap space they have right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Right. Like you accrue cap space and it's a significant amount. So I don't think they're in a rush to do it.
Sorry to interrupt. Hart Levine says his formula is take your cap space at the deadline and times it times 4.5. Right.
Oh,
so if you got $6 million at the deadline, times it by 4, that's 24, and then a 0.5 on that. I'm not going to do the math, but you looked at about 26 million worth of AAV. So that's a ton of player, man. Are you kidding me? Holy cow.
Yeah. No. So now again, because there's the benefit of signing a free agent is you don't have to give up anything to get them. So that's the benefit, right? So I can see why, they went on the Jack Roswick, but when I look at their roster right now, and I think we can all agree that there's some Captain Obvious. We know these guys are on the roster. Hello, Connor McDavid. Hello, Leon Draisaitl, Zach Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Vasily Podkolzin, Jason Dickinson, Trent Frederick, Kasperi Kapanen, like Matt Savoy. Those 9, I think, are locks, right? I think Colton Dock's a lock on this team. I think Ike Howard's going to get a really good look to make the team. They need a 4th-line center, so it's probably Josh Szymanski at this point. So there's 12 guys. So that leaves Matthias Janmark. It leaves Matthew Joseph. It leaves Max Jones. So you could sign another guy. And I guess maybe if you don't believe in Ike Howard, then he goes to the minors. Fair. But if you sign this guy, then you're almost like saying we think Ike Howard's going to the minors because they don't have enough room in their top 9. I'm not keeping him here to play in the 4th line.
No, absolutely. There's no point keeping Ike Howard here to play and to not play much. He's still that level of player. Like, I think we all hope he's the next Matt Savoy who went to the minors, right? Put in his time down there, did a season, had a nice season, came up here, first 30 games, he was pretty decent. And then boom, we kind of got all of a sudden Matt Savoy turned into a nice NHL player. And now I think he'll just get better and better and better. So Ike Howard went to the minors last year, didn't complain, put in his year, had really good numbers. And I think he's earned a look at for the first 25 games up here. Like, give him some opportunity. Let's see how he does.
Yes.
And if he turns into the next Matt Savoy, that's 2 young guys who you really like. And it's okay to have the youth on your team once in a while.
Oh, yeah. No, I think no question that is that's something that the Oilers, I think you have cap space and you have the opportunity to say, hey, maybe he's ready to pop. And when I say pop, like maybe he's a 16, 17, 18 goal scorer, which is good. He gets some experience because you do need to incorporate some young guys in your lineup at some point. That's just kind of an obvious thing. Right. And who knows, maybe him and Savoy, one of those guys, because I know everybody's all down on Savoy because his first playoffs wasn't out of this world great. And I'm like, well, I'm not that concerned about it because I've seen lots of guys their first time through not be great. And then the next few times, and sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times. Pavel Datsyuk can go down the list of other guys, but I know that everybody sees the cap space, and in Edmonton, they're not used to it. They're like, what's this thing called cap space? Right?
What do we do with it all?
and some people, funny enough, when they get money in their savings account, they're like, well, I got to spend it. Right? Like, you don't always have to spend it. No. It's the old adage, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you save. It allows you to have a little bit more freedom later on.
Yeah, that's for sure. And in this situation, like I say, you do that 4.5 rule. Like, if you have 3, or let's say you have $4 million in cap space, that's still about $18 million in AAV. You can bring in a $7 million defenseman and a $9 million forward. Like a couple guys, like I'm talking about, like, remember when Mikko Rantanen became available all of a sudden? There's teams you can get, there's guys you can get that are pending UFAs, and a team will take a nice draft pick for them or whatever. Like, you're trying to win a cup right now. And I'm telling you, every year we see it at the deadline, there's some good players available that right now on July, whatever it is, we had no clue you're going to be able to get your hands on those guys.
Yeah. Speck, have yourself a good one. We will chat with you tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, Jay.
There you go. That's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. When we come back, a gentleman who got announced, he's going into the Hall of Fame. We'll discuss it next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
It's Dollar Drink Summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees at participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Support your bones so you can stay active this summer. For the month of July, all CanPrev brand magnesium and collagen supplements are 15% off regular price. Only at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Boxing Week is back at the Brick. Don't wait until winter. Get blowout pricing now. Save 55% off sofas when you buy the matching piece. Save up to 25% off bedroom and dining. Save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get free local delivery when you use your Flexity card. And buy more, save more. Up to $500 off select major appliances. Don't miss the return of Boxing Week, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in store for details.
Get your early morning going with the sports stories Edmonton Ashley cares about. Catch Tom Gazzola weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Sports 1440. Edmonton sports leader. Don't just listen. Join the conversation at 833-401-1440.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchuk here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
Hi, Edmonton. With summer adventures calling, there's no better way to answer than from behind the wheel of your Subaru WRX. The WRX delivers turbocharged performance, confidence-inspiring Subaru all-wheel drive, and the kind of driving excitement that makes you look for excuses to hit the road. Summer won't last forever, but the memories will. So make sure you give yourself something to remember. Visit your local Subaru dealer today and test drive the WRX yourself. Welcome to Uncommon.
Kickoff is coming July 9th, Elks, Red Blacks at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Salute to Service presented by YEG Plus. Help us celebrate the heroes and first responders who make our communities great. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Boxing Week is back at the Brick. Don't wait until winter. Get blowout pricing now. Save 50% off sofas when you buy the matching piece. Save up to 25% off bedroom and dining, and save up to 40% off select mattresses. Plus, get free local delivery when you use your Flexity card. And buy more, save more. Up to $500 off select major appliances. Don't miss the return of Boxing Week, only at the Brick. Exclusions apply. See in store for details.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. Ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design, build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. Made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at www.cantork.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Welcome back. Wednesday afternoon. Hope you're having a lovely day. Now, I heard there was a power outage in the south side for a little bit. Hopefully, everybody's power is back up and ready to roll. It's never great. Hopefully, it was just a short-term thing on the south side. Didn't hit anybody else, but if you did, hopefully you got your power back. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You're listening to The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. And it's time for our football report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Well, no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer long at legacyheating.ca. And our next guest, excited to have him on the show. It's been a while since we had him on the show. Of course, one of the all-time great defensive linemen in CFL history, played over 200 games, 14 season, was a six-time CFL All-Star. Played in 4 Grey Cups, winning with Calgary, and is 5th all-time on the CFL sack list with 136. Charleston Hughes joins us. Charleston, congratulations on being named into the CFL Hall of Fame, man. That's awesome. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Thank you for all those great words you just said.
Hey, man, that's I saw the video with Mr. Mace inviting you to the Hall of Fame. Can you kind of? I was watching your reaction, and obviously you're smiling and you're happy, but kind of as you're listening to it, and you're like, oh my God, like I'm going to the Hall of Fame here. What's kind of going through your mind in that moment?
I mean, it was completely unexpected, man. I mean, I didn't know what to expect during that call. I just knew that, Mace was reaching out to me for something football related, and I was just making sure I was there for the call, but it ended up being better news than I thought.
It was. Now, one of your former teammates, Eddie Steele, is a regular on our station, and I know you guys played together in Saskatchewan, and he was telling me that year you guys fired your D-line coach, and that you and Eddie did a lot of Reg Dunlop. I'm not sure if you're a hockey fan or not, where he was a player coach a little bit. Kind of take me through that. What do you remember? Give me have some fun with it, of course. But what is your best recollection of Eddie Steele?
He embraced the coaching side very well. I mean, sometimes when you're that older guy in the room, and obviously me and him were the older guys in the room, and our position coach gets fired, man. I mean, somebody has to take that reign, and I was happy to have another guy in there like Eddie Steele that was willing to do it, and that just explains Eddie in a nutshell. Anyways, is that he was willing to do anything and everything it was to benefit the team and make sure that the team was in great position to win every game. And he was one of those guys where I keep saying, words like, through a football career like I had, there's a lot of sacrifice. There's a lot of sacrifice for football just playing in general anyways, but you just got to find out what you're willing to sacrifice and how far you're willing to go to, win games.
Now, Charleston, you played with a lot of guys over your career. Did anybody wear extra small T-shirts more than Eddie Steele?
Let me see. Let me think. No.
Oh, he loves it. I love it, though. His gun's out all the time.
Maybe Jordan Reeves.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I like that. Now, tell us about, for you kind of coming up to the CFL. And, I've talked to so many guys who, some were very honest, like, man, I didn't know much about it. I didn't know what to expect. And, when I got up there, I was pleasantly surprised. Kind of take us back to your introduction to the CFL. What was your first thoughts when you came up for your first camp?
I definitely didn't know what to expect. I just knew that I had an opportunity. I knew that I had some ex-teammate of mine in college who came and played in BC, Chris Wilson.
Okay.
So he was one of the guys who kind of went up there, and he gave me some insight about, yeah, it's good. You'd be a good fit. And I just gave it a try, man, and just rolled the dice. I mean, my introduction, to the Calgary Stampeders, my very, very first year in the league, man, I was cut. I got sent home.
Really?
So, oh yeah, but people don't know that. But in training camp, I got cut and sent home. So I wasn't even the best guy at the position on the field. But injuries is what brought me back to the league. So it took 4 injuries for me to come back to the CFL. And I was thinking about hanging up the cleats at that time, but luckily they called me back, right?
So you got cut. They send you home. And how much longer was it till you got the call back? And that was Wally Bono at the time?
That was
Hufnagel. Okay.
That was Hufnagel, and Hufnagel was the head coach, but I think Jim Barker was GM / ops. So it was a combination of just Hufnagel, Huff, and Chris Jones.
Oh, and it's funny, like you look back on it, right place, right time. And because some guys would have said, you know what, I'm done. I'm not coming back up. I'm going to move on. What was it about, that call to say, okay, you know what, I got it. I owe it to myself to give myself another opportunity when Barker called you?
I'm that type of guy, man. I mean, I don't like to leave stones unturned. I like to go all out for something and then know that I gave my all, walking away. I think the first time around before I got cut, I felt like I was the best player. I felt like I was the more dominant player, but for some reason I still got, cut. And I knew in the back of my mind that I was getting cut and I felt cheated kind of. So the thing is because they called me back, it reassured me that, man, I was the best player. And I think they figured out they made a mistake. So that was my thinking. And it is like, they know they made a mistake. And once I got back and I said, you know what, I'm going to give it another shot. And once I go, forget it. I'm going to make it well known that I should be here.
Charlton Hughes joins us, announced today that he is going into the CFL Hall of Fame, is the Stampeders all-time sack leader with 99 sacks for them, ended up playing in Saskatchewan and Toronto later on in your career. Charleston, when you look back in your career from 2008 to 2022, who are the old linemen that that maybe you respected the most, that were the hardest to beat?
Hardest guys for me to beat were the guys who were, very technically sound and just good with their hands, good with their feet. The Stanley Bryant being one of them. He was definitely one of the guys that, I battled against a lot. The Tony Washingtons, guys like that, who were super athletic, super strong. I guess another guy that I can name off the top of my head is like the Chris Van Zyles. It's guys that, really stepped up to the plate and gave me their all, and they knew they were going to get their all from me. But guys like that were the guys that I think, were a little bit more challenging than the rest.
The yard off the ball, I think I think it can be an advantage, but obviously you were never used to it growing up. But so it obviously became pretty good for you. When you got used to it, what was the biggest thing that you could exploit by having that yard off the ball?
I mean, the biggest thing that you can exploit with having a yard off the ball, and a lot of young guys don't even know this, and, now I'm starting to unlock the code for guys. And the only guys that really paid attention were guys like Sean Lemon and, and people, Jaguar Davis and people like that I had to unlock the code for them, is you got to be able to manipulate space. And if you use that yard off the ball to manipulate space and, put the offensive lineman in compromising situations, then that's the gift of having that yard off the ball. Now, if you can't grasp that, then it'll be a long day for you.
So how have you learned to manipulate that space? Are we talking like spin moves, stunts? What is it? What's the best way to manipulate that space?
The best way to manipulate it is through, alignment. Well, first assignment, because you got to know what you're doing first, but you manipulate that space by alignment, by, making sure that you got a good get off on your first step, making sure that you cover in that, you're able to cover that ground and cover that yard quickly, making sure that you're able to take the right angle and the right, deployment of attack basically when you're coming off the line. So making sure that your angles are correct, and you have to constantly be changing up all throughout the game angles with, how tight am I lining up? What's my deployment angle? What am I shooting for? What am I aiming for? Okay, what is my next move? What's the play call? There's a lot of different things that you got to process, but I would say just alignment and assignment, alignment, and, your deployment angle.
Okay. Charleston Hughes joins us, announced that he's going into the CFL Hall of Fame. And there's going to be a few other players. They're kind of, which I like. Each guy kind of gets his own day. Brandon Banks, Sean Millington, yourself. There's going to be a few other inductees that they're going to be unveiled. When you look back, Charleston, and you mentioned how, hey, I came back with something to prove it. And obviously, I think you showed the Stampeders that, okay, maybe we made a mistake, and you became a real dominant player for many years in your career. The year you had the 18 sacks, because you had, a lot of years with double digits, but, you had 18 and 16 multiple times and 15. When you look back on those years, like how much of sacks becomes momentum for you, where it's just like, okay, you know what, I've got a few here and now it just snowballs? Does it work like a goal scorer in hockey scores a few goals? He just feels like, hey, I can score more. I hit a few home runs, I can hit more. Is it the exact same for a sack guy? Do you just all of a sudden feel like, well, they can't stop me, I'm getting more sacks? And did you notice that as your career progressed?
Yeah, man, it's just one of those things, like you step into the matrix. And it's just like I just knew that I've at the top of my game. I knew I've perfected my moves and what moves that I can do best. I knew that, I know how I can affect the game by getting a sack, and a sack being probably one of the most devastating plays to an offense. So I knew how much my team leaned on me for that also. So if I wasn't getting there, and if I wasn't getting to the quarterback, or nobody was getting to the quarterback, shoot, the team was looking at me the whole time. And so when you got that kind of pressure on you, and you have that kind of, impact in a game, man, I took it upon myself to know that I have to perform and I have to make that happen every time, or I felt like I was losing a game for us. So when you make it like that for every player to play like that, and to play like I have an impact in this game, and if I don't do what I'm supposed to do and what I'm here to do, then I'm not putting my team in position to win the game.
Now, if I'm correct, that you had 3 fumble return touchdowns in your career, and I think your first one would have been in like your 4th season in the league. How do you compare the feeling to a sack to a fumble return touchdown?
See, the thing is, man, you look for that trifecta play. That's the special play. That's when I started thinking even more, like a veteran player. And I think that's when I really started unlocking, sacks for myself. Is I started transitioning myself out of not just going for the sack and taking out the quarterback and being happy with that. I started taking my thought process to the next level and thinking, I'm going to go after the ball, still get the sack. Now we just created a turnover. Now we're in position to get a touchdown. Hopefully I can get it all myself. I can get the sack. I can get the fumble recovery, the forced fumble. I can get the fumble recovery, and I can score a touchdown, which I've done all that before too. But that's when I transitioned, and I think that's what kind of unlocked, even more of an impact in the game. It's not just get the sack. Let's get the sack and let's get the first fumble. And that is a sack on its own. So I don't have to take the quarterback down to get a sack. I can take the ball from the quarterback and make it a sack, forced fumble recovery for somebody else, and potential touchdown.
Okay. When you look at, you started out your career, lots of guys, you're in one city for 10 years. You're thinking, I'm probably going to retire here. Take me back to 2018 and leaving Calgary and end up in Saskatchewan. How difficult was that?
It was difficult, man, because I definitely thought I was going to be in Calgary for my entire career. I even tried to come back to Calgary to try to, finish my career in Calgary. Just things didn't just work out. There was no room for me there. So when it really boils down to it, that transition was hard. But the same thing is, man, when I'm up against something like that and I'm on the back end of my career is what people say, I don't listen to it. And I just kind of do what I'm supposed to do in that moment and that time and don't think ahead and just know that I still got something to prove. I'm not on the back end of my career. I can still produce. I can still play at a high level. I can still be the best defensive player on any team that I go to. I just have to go out and prove it. So that was the one thing that I felt like I still had to keep a chip on my shoulder the entire time and find motivation in other places. And that was my motivation, was going to SAS and playing for, the biggest fan support based team in the league and make it my own and make it, how can I have the most impact there?
Charleston Hughes joins us. Charleston, congratulations again on being inducted into the Hall of Fame. How's your speech writing skills?
I don't know, man. I can talk all day, really. If you want to keep me for an hour, I talk for hours.
Okay.
It ain't pretty hard, man. Like I do a lot of speaking engagements and public speaking skills, and man, I'll go up there and just speak from the heart and just make it authentic.
Okay, so you'll just have a few bullet points. Maybe you're not going to write down the whole speech.
I won't write down a single word. It'll all come straight off the top of my head, straight from the heart.
Awesome. Well, man, well deserved. I love seeing your reaction with the phone call from Mace. I'm sure it's great when you get it from a coach of yours. Somebody who obviously understands and really respects your ability. A great day for you and your family. So congratulations, and I hope you really enjoy the induction ceremony. It should be a hell of a day.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That is Charleston Hughes, one of the greatest defensive linemen the CFL has ever seen. Top 5 in sacks. Obviously has the record for most sacks all time for a Calgary Stampeder. And man, he was a force. Like there was times where he was just unstoppable. He could disrupt the game by himself. And when you have a D lineman that can do that, it just makes everybody else's job so much easier. Because you don't know when it's coming, but eventually it's coming. And it's not like sacks are one thing, but just constant pressure. And you have linemen that are a little jittery. Quarterbacks are a little bit jittery. He was one of those guys who was a difference maker. That was well-deserved. It was kind of an easy, I think, decision for the committee to want to put in Charleston Hughes, kind of a no-brainer. So Sean Millington's in, Brandon Banks is in, Charleston Hughes, and they'll have a few other inductees. I kind of like how the CFL's doing it. Each guy gets their own day, and then they'll announce another one next week, and leads up towards the induction ceremony later on this year. Let's take our final break. We'll come back. We'll get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Listen up, friends. Operation Pizza is a go at Papa John's. They're introducing new personal pizzas just in time to celebrate the premiere of Toy Story 5. These adventure-sized pies come in new, exciting flavors like Sheriff's Roundup, Space Ranger-oni, and Reach for the Pie. Or take your personal pizza to infinity and beyond by creating your own flavor just for you. Order 2 or more with Papa Pairings and get yours for only $9.99 each. New personal pizzas are ready for takeoff. See Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is serious about cooling. In fact, we offer multiple ways to cool your home. So you better
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you're looking for traditional air conditioning, we got you. Or ask us about a heat pump to help you heat and cool.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Cool with AC or cool with the heat pump. Cool your home with Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Support your bones so you can stay active this summer. For the month of July, all CanPrev brand magnesium and collagen supplements are 15% off regular price. Only at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos.
For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
The Riverhawks are back, and the fun is too. Catch Italian Plumber Video Game Night, Star Wars with a post-game fireworks show, and kids crash the park Sunday with a poster giveaway presented by Save On Foods. Bring the family. Kids tickets from $10 at GoHawks.ca.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth, fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash to invest equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
He's not just another pair of glasses. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for checking out Edmonton Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.542. We were looking at the all-time strikeout leaders. Justin Verlander is currently 8th. He, if he gets 21 more strikeouts this year, he would pass Don Sutton for 7th. He would need 87 strikeouts to catch Tom Seaver. So probably unlikely at this stage, but you never know. Maybe. Max Scherzer is currently 11th. He would need 7 strikeouts to pass Walter Johnson to get into to the top 10 all time. And I want, like, obviously he's battling, scratching, trying to get back. We'll see if we see Mad Max again this year. If we do, though, you have 2 players today in top 10. And if you look at their innings pitched, like Max Scherzer has only pitched 2,985 innings. Walter Johnson, 5,900. Gaylord Perry, 5,300. Don Sutton, 5,200. Like, those guys pitched way more innings, right? Like, I know the pitchers throw harder now, but think about it. You know, you get your 100 pitches, your 90 pitches, then you're out. So it's a different time for that. And so if you're a top 10 strikeout guy now, like, we talk about records all the time, they're never going to be broken. The Gretzky point record, no. Nolan Ryan's strikeout record, like, he really, as a strikeout pitcher, Nolan Ryan is what Gretzky is. Nolan Ryan has basically almost 1,000 more strikeouts than second place Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson had 48.75. Nolan Ryan's at 57.14. Right? So it's actually 839 more, but still, it's not close. Right? He is he's 1,000 more than the next right-handed pitcher, Roger Clemens. So you think about it, but am I like Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, Bert Blyleven, Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, all got Greg Maddux. Those guys are all top 12 and all guys that been able to see. So pretty lucky if you're a fan of wanting to watch the greats of the greats, had that opportunity. Now, it's Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, and if you're looking for a great deal, you can check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost specials. Always fun opportunities for you to get involved in. PlayAlberta.ca. As we get to Cam Tate, the 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy. at legacyheating.ca. Here is Cam Tate.
Let's try this on for size. You're pitching in the big leagues, and you have, as Gregor says, a no-no going on, a no-hitter going, and understand this, into the 9th inning. 8 innings of great, great baseball, 11 strikeouts, 3 more outs, and you never pay for a beer in this country again. And you thought air traffic controllers had stressful jobs. Now, the psychology of the thing. From the Society for American Baseball Research, that's sabr.org, the scholars of the seams. You are 3 outs from baseball immortality. You walk into your own dugout, and it's a ghost town. Your buddies won't look at you. Nobody says a word. 25 grown men, each discovering a sudden and profound interest in his own shoelaces. Baseball's ultimate unwritten rule, the silent treatment. It's meant to keep you focused. It builds an echo chamber for anxiety. Your brain slides into what the shrinks call future-mindedness. You're choreographing the dog pile, and the work isn't done. Meanwhile, your veins are running pure adrenaline. In football, that busts you through a line. In baseball, it's a trap. Adrenaline means muscle tension. You start aiming the ball instead of trusting the arm that got you there. The greats, they shrink the universe, kick the dirt, stare at the catcher's mitt, live in the present tense, one pitch at a time. Over at baseballpitching.com, sports psychologist Dr. Patrick Cohn maps the 4-step process pitchers use to pump the brakes, settle the emotions, and dodge what he calls the avalanche effect. And that is exactly what Blue Jays ace Dylan Cease stared down within the past hour, while the San Francisco Giants, a franchise that knows fog when it sees it, spent the afternoon swinging at it. 115 pitches. Some of us stretch before reaching for the dessert menu. Back out for the 9th. 3 pitches later, a single up the middle. The no-no, gone. But a 10-0 Jays win over the Giants. The whole ballpark on its feet. And somewhere, Dave Stieb, keeper of the only no-hitter in Blue Jays history, pours himself something nice. His record lives another night. Bring out the beers anyway. Off day tomorrow. Uber alert, 2-minute warning. Sports, 1440.
Yeah, I bet you Dave Stieb would probably welcome someone to be in the club with him. Right? It's like the Dolphins are a little bit different. I know they do that as a team, and it's kind of as a team, right? Like it's the perfect season. But lots of people have had no hitters for other teams. Right? I think Dave Stieb, having been there that many times, he's probably like, God, it would be nice if someone else could get one. And Cease, he has had now 3 no-hitters through 8 innings in the last 5 years. That's the most of any pitcher. 2 of them got broken up in the 9th. One, of course, was a no-hitter back in July of 2024, but he had himself a heck of a performance today, going 8 innings before the first batter of the 9th. A single up the middle. That was the only blemish on his record today. So pretty good outing. And I think Opa Stats, I want to find that stat, but Opa Stats had a number on Dylan Cease that I found quite interesting. Let's find it here. Where is it? Oh yeah. So in his last 9 starts, he struck out at least 7 batters while allowing 4 or fewer hits. That's the longest streak by any pitcher in MLB modern era. Now, the sad thing is I want to see in those 9 starts, how many wins did Cease get? And that's why wins are always the hardest one to kind of base pitchers off of, because you can pitch great, but if nobody hits, there's nothing you can do, right? You're not suddenly going to be able to get a lot of runs. So you look at it. He had 1 hit over 8 innings today. And he won. He has 3 wins in his last 9 starts. 3 wins and 9 starts, and he's only given up the maximum of 4 hits in those games. Now, base on balls have been a little bit of a problem for him. So that's always a little bit misleading. You have to look at it because he's had walks of 4 walks in 4 of those games. So that adds up a little bit more. So we'll see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440, excuse me. Woo! Quickly, Declan, to this week in the CFL, which kicks off again tomorrow night. You've got the green and gold taking on the Ottawa Red Blacks, Toronto, Winnipeg, Calgary, Montreal, Hamilton, and Saskatchewan. What's your thoughts on the QB injuries in Winnipeg and Hamilton?
Yeah, Hamilton, they're in a really tough situation. Obviously, Trey Ford comes in. They don't necessarily like what they see. Not only do they go and sign Jarrett Dagey, Jake Delagallo is going to be starting that game in Saskatchewan. I mean, they'd be tough in that environment anyway as a backup quarterback, but to have to go to your third option, sign a new guy because you don't trust your second, really, really tough situation for Hamilton. It brings up an interesting conversation, like what's the rest of Trey Ford's career going to look like? Like, that was that his one shot in Hamilton and it already isn't panned out in a Milanovic offense? So we'll see what happens there. I like Saskatchewan in the game. For Winnipeg, like, I actually like Taylor Algejma. They also traded for Drew Brown. Like, I was a little curious why he didn't get the reps. I like Taylor's game. I know it wasn't that flashy, 11 for 15, 86 yards. He had the 1 touchdown. The problem with that game is, and I know it's in Winnipeg, but all Toronto does is score. Now, to be fair, to be fair, Winnipeg doesn't exactly, score points for or have points scored against them. It's at home, but I just think Chad Kelly, for all of his faults, he's going to be able to pick apart that defense. It's going to be a high-scoring game that Taylor Algejma won't be able to keep up with. So I like both. I like both backup quarterbacks to lose this week. I'll put it this way. That way, I should say.
All right. Okay.
The Saskatchewan Hamilton one's kind of obvious though. Like,
yeah.
Going into, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah. Like, they're on the road. The Calgary Montreal game is pretty intriguing to me.
Super fun game.
All right. Like,
super fun game.
Like, I think, like, the bookend games of the week, I think Edmonton should beat Ottawa, and I think Saskatchewan will beat Hamilton. The middle 2 games, like Montreal, Calgary, man, Calgary has been, I know they're only 2-2, but they've been in it. They're competitive, man, and their offense right now is rolling. So obviously Montreal, like, that game could be one of those games where there's like 800 plus yards between the 2 teams.
Yeah, real Big 12 game. I have no idea what Calgary's identity is yet, because obviously they have that game where they put up almost 60 points against Toronto, which is unheard of even for the CFL. Not that they've ever had any real down games, but that week 1 against Winnipeg, they lose it 30-28. They're a strange team to me. I think this is a real litmus test against Montreal, who's a really good team. Their only loss this season is to the Elks. Calgary's on the road. I think this game is going to tell us a lot about who the Stamps are.
Yeah, that's fair. Right. Montreal, they're still, I would probably argue they still might be the team to beat. So we'll kind of see where it goes, but I still think they might be the team to beat. The Elks are getting closer, but they got to hold on to the ball. That's going to be the test moving forward. As a group, they're fumbling the ball way too much. Receivers, running backs, too much. 5:54. We'll take a quick break. We'll get to Declan Kruger with our final Sports 1440 update. Then we got some Fox Sports for you. Tom Gazzola back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Sports 1440 update brought to you by the Oilers Nation Golf Tournament, which of course is in support of Gregor's Grads. You want to get out? It's it's Friday, August 29th. Look it up, Oilers Nation Annual Golf Tournament, all in support of the Gregor Foundation. Put a foursome in, you'll have a great time. Here's Declan Cooper.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Scores around the majors right now. 3 games in the top of the 5th. Cubs and Orioles tied 3-3. Tigers lead the A's 3-1. And the Mariners trail the Marlins 2-0. Other games in the league right now, Braves and Pirates tied 0-0. Rays lead the Yankees 2-0. Phillies lead the Reds by the same score. And the Mets lead the Royals 1-0 in the top of the 3rd. One final today saw the Blue Jays over the Giants 10-0. Wimbledon finals from earlier. Sausage Zverev and Artur Ferry getting by their quarterfinal matchup in straight sets. In the women's quarters, with Marta Kostic and Linda Moskova getting by their quarters in straight sets as well. Edmonton Riverhawks will be in action against Nanaimo, 7:05 first pitch for that one down at Remax. And in the sporting world, Mark Cuban accusing Dallas Mavericks owners of freezing him out in a proposed arena move, while the Denver Nuggets have waived veteran center Jonas Valanciunas. And if you missed it in the hockey world, Connor Bedard set to miss 4 months after following his shoulder surgery. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CK